It is going down. It's going down on a Monday night. Welcome to another episode of Outlaw Radio. My name is Kevin Barnes. I am the host of Outlaw Radio. I am the architect of Chocolate City, if you will, as well as the People's News Network. I'm known in some circles as the Negro Whisperer. And now and then you run across a person who calls me the world class smartass. Welcome to the show. It's Outlaw Radio live from the basement. Right. As usual, man, this is what we do. Share the show, share the show, share the show, share the show. There is so much to talk about in Milwaukee right now. If you don't have something to talk about, you're not listening, right? You don't listen well. It's one step of calling you a remedial, if you will. I'm joking. I'm joking. But no, there's a lot going on. So if you're paying attention to the news, if you're watching, we'll talk about all of that tonight. There's some celebrity news. I don't normally focus on celebrities just because I believe like they're all compromised anyways, right? But every now and then some of it has social context. So if you have something that you'd like to say or contribute to the conversation, there's a phone number associated with the show. That phone number is 262-202-5131. I'll say it once again very slowly. 262-202-5131. Okay. And you can get involved. There's also a chat room in which, the chat room always pops, man. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting us. We're on Mondays, Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time until whenever I cut the machine off because I own the machine, right? That's what we always say. So, yeah, man, get it locked in, share the show, let them know Outlaw Radio is on the air. Um, I had a very eventful weekend. So if you were paying attention, we were supporting Kamar, who I'm sure will be along shortly. We were supporting him with his Wellness Our Way event, and it was dope. It was dope. If you didn't get down to the Sherman Phoenix, you should have come through. A lot of people came. It was great traffic, man. And I once again I just kind of go down there and chop it up with the entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? I really enjoy talking with people in our community who are doing business, man. It's just something about that spirit of trying to get it out the mud. It resonates with me. Listen. So I'm talking about it. I guess I talked him up. So Mr. Carter is here. How you doing, my brother? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, family?
I am well. I'm well. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, man, life. Wondering what's next on this journey, man. Wondering what's next. Every day is full of 'em, full of experiences and things to enjoy and be grateful for. You know what I'm saying? Just waiting to see what's next.
Yeah, man. It's I always say the struggle is sweet, right? So,
Yeah,
but your
man.
your 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 event, Wellness Our Way, which congratulations to you because that was actually the second one, right? So you already on part duh.
Man,
so
man.
so I want to talk about that. Let me bring Rel in. Let me bring Rel in. Bonzarella, you got your smoking jacket on. What's popping with you, man?
Chilling, man. Just enjoying listening to that rain.
Man, it's beautiful, ain't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful. I was in my
Yes,
my
sir.
my, my, my garage before the show, just chilling. I was almost late. Like I'm like I don't even want to do a show. I just want to sit here, man. It was loud lightning. The shit that used to scare you when you was a little boy. Now you be like, yeah.
Right.
Man, it
Dion
sounds
in the
good
chat
now.
room early,
It's
man.
comforting
Dion,
now.
right.
Right.
Dion said, "What it do, bro? How you doing, Dion?" He said, "Man, I hate I couldn't be a host with you." I mean, Dion was under the weather, man, and we one thing we have to make sure we do is when somebody's not, you know, up to ain't feeling well, don't be kicking it with them. You gotta say, man, I see you in a week or something, man. Hey, that's what COVID taught us above and beyond everything. Cause it easy to be with your people pre-COVID. You be like, he must got a cold.
Right.
Motherfucker
When
do
you
that shit
sick,
now.
go
You
on
be
and
like,
get yourself together, man. Go home and get yourself together.
I fucking with you. I'm gonna drop you off. He said next time I'm feeling better, much. Oh, for
He
sure.
still pulled up though.
That's what he said. I had to slide through and support my niggas. Yes, sir, man, and it's much appreciated. Shout out to everybody who came through, but I want to give Kamar a chance to talk about the event. Let's talk about wellness our way. You just did the second one. Let's talk about it.
Okay, man. The biggest takeaway what I got from this time, man, is like is I got what I feel like is what I meant for it to be. I got a little bit of it. I was seeing it. You know what I mean? The networking part, where it was
Okay.
not just for on my side, but I was seeing everybody else networking with each other. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm watching I'm watching Promise do what he was doing, you know what I mean? And he wound up catching some action for another gig while he was doing that one. You know what I'm saying? I saw he was telling me about a couple interviews of some people who was there who we want to bring on his show. You know what I'm saying? And interview and talk to. You know what I mean? Because he thought they was impactful enough to bring onto a show. You know what I mean? And I'm just those are just a couple of instances. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? And you was one of them, Kev. You know what I mean? One of the people you want to bring on. And like I say, is like the vision what I have, I'm really seeing stuff happen. And for it to see it already and for everything to not even really come to full bloom yet, you know what I mean? I just can't wait to see what that's gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, everybody is getting some action out of it. You know, and this is just love being the person to put it together and watch.
That is a very well put. I should say. Um, a- it was dope in the fact that it was a very positive vibe for me. Is what I noticed the most is nobody wasn't really like like even when things wasn't necessarily going the way you planned it. People wasn't like, man, fuck this shit. It was just like, it's all good. Well, let me go over here and look at some natural soap then. And shout out to Herbs and Lather who gave me a bar of natural soap and natural
Man,
deodorant.
I
And
love these products.
yeah, I think they might have a customer over here, right? My family is loving it. It was dope.
Hmm.
Now, Rail, or it is dope, I should say. Now, Rail, you was there too, so you got to. It's your second one as well, so
Yeah.
what's your take from it?
I just love the camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of dope individuals in a dope space, and we can come together and like Kamar said, network and just share ideas. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to people who I was helping them think of other ways they could push their products, and they was grabbing my products and shit. So it's a dope experience. When we can come together, support each other, and benefit each other in other ways.
Yeah, man, it was a good kind of thing. It's a good vibration. As long I'm always good anywhere I go, as long as we don't get to fighting at the end and shooting. I'm like, "Phew, made it out of that shit." I'm always good when we can do that. So it was good. Y'all got to get to the next one, man. Y'all got to get to the next one and stop. I don't know who he is, man. Ain't fucking nigga. Man, you got to support, man. Because if you don't, things like this will go away. Make no
Right,
mistake. If you don't support it, it's going away. Right? It's not gonna just exist because it's righteous.
right.
Oh,
It's
Kamara,
always people always talking about we need more positive stuff in the community, positive things to do. You know what I mean? What can we do to make our community better? What do we need to do? It's always those conversations. You know what I mean? And wellness our way is meant for us to be able to help ourselves to be able to help the community. You know what I mean? Come learn how to help yourself so you can help the community. You
I, I,
dig
I
what I'm
think
saying?
I think the only we oftentimes create these invisible walls in our community and we start to feel a certain way about a certain group of people because of whatever, right? Like so people say, well, I ain't gonna go down there because I don't take sea moss. So you eat
Hmm.
soul food, don't you?
Right,
Right? Like you eat popcorn, you eat ice cream, you eat burgers, you eat like it's actually food there.
right.
Some of it
It's
ain't
it's
vegan.
all kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, so stop, man. I'm gonna start to consider it hating, right?
Then
We're
we
hate.
got workshops too. The workshops, you know what I mean? It's exercise workshops. You come get your workout on. Come meet somebody who you can work out with. You know what I'm saying? And depend on. Create a support group. You know, it's other means of healing going on. Workshops. You know what I'm saying? We got sound bathing. You know what I mean? You could come learn that for yourself. We got guided meditations. People could teach you that down there. You know what I mean? Qigong was going on down there. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just other ways of healing. And we tend to think that we only need therapists and food that can heal us, you know what I mean? But there's many facets of healing, man. There's different ways to do it. And that's why we call it wellness our way also, because they ain't teaching it right. You know what I mean? Come on down to the community. Come learn from us. Come learn from these different holistic people who we got who can teach you different ways to heal yourself. You know what I mean? We always talking about that. What can we do? What can we do? Here we are. We telling you what you can do and showing you how to do
Shout out to Jeff Crape in the chat room. He says, Kamar, maybe I'll hit you on the side when you pick the vegan lifestyle. He lives the vegan lifestyle.
it. We do this, family. We do this.
Kamar's the resident vegan. You ain't know? Yeah, man. If you had the answer to the question that people say, what are we gonna do? What should we do to help our community? My answer is always we should do something. We should do something.
Pick something and get to it.
Something of substance, something that's sustainable, something that will have a long-term effect, as the old people used to say. So yeah, man, I'm glad everybody's getting their feet wet with doing their thing. I said in the beginning of the show, it's live from the basement. It's on Monday night. This is what we do. And I was talking about how hot it was in the city. I want to say this. I don't feel like people are saying this enough. Is your mayor the most uninformed individual on the planet Earth? Is Mayor Johnson? Can somebody give me $20 for the last time somebody asked him a question and he answered it straight out? He said, listen, this dude knows nothing. Everything that go on, little buddy be like, well, I didn't even know about that. I just heard about that just now. I just heard it. I'm like, dude, and then he was, because I'm going to bring MPS because with what's going on with MPS. But if you watch his latest interview, if you watch the mayor's latest interview, they're talking to him and he's saying, I don't know. The city doesn't run the schools, da, 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 da. And then he says, I'm going to have to call Keith and see what's going on. He didn't say Dr. Posey. He didn't say director. He said, I'm going to have to call Keith. I thought you didn't know nothing. He asked him about the housing. They said, from what I heard, they're doing good. Bruh, it's literally fucking feds running running this organization right now, man. Look, buddy, I'm gonna need for you to know something sooner or later, man. I need for you to give me. In listening to our mayor speak several different times, I've never really heard him say anything significant. Because usually when they ask him about something that's going on, he said, I don't know. Shit, what? When that happened? I'm like, bro, how you in City Hall and I know more? I know what's more than what's going on than you do. You know damn well you know what's going on with MPS. You knew what was going on with the housing authority. I just want you to stop.
That's how you get out the question right there on the spot. You know what I mean?
Right. Who? He be like, who? What? Oh, hold on.
I got to check into that. Let me check into that.
I just heard.
Then let me get back to you. How the fuck you gonna get back to me?
You on Fox 6. Talking about what? Nigga, you bullshit.
I'll be there.
Right. That's our mayor. Ain't that a bitch? When that shit happen? Right? Like, come on, little buddy. Come on, man. Get your staff, the people who tell you how to answer questions. Man, you gotta be a little bit more transparent than that, man. Especially when we all see the shit that's going on. And like I said, you're in City Hall. And yet you don't know what the hell. What? When that? Oh shit! Really? Like, is he high? I don't know. Like, what's going on? Is he chiefing? I don't. Yeah, we had a Mayor Meyer years ago who was mayor so long he went crazy. Shit, he had aluminum foil on the windows. This motherfucker was running the city for 25 years, 30 years. He's a hero. He put down the Negro riots in 1967. Him and Harold Breyer. Man, fuck Harold Breyer. His name shouldn't be on shit. White people always trying to, I know I'm going off the subject, but I got to add this. They always trying to cancel some shit. Y'all trying to take somebody's name off something to tear the statue down. You ain't took Gagg or Hoover name off the FBI headquarters. And I believe that the training grounds or it's a building here of some sort that's named after Harold Breyer. Man, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Y'all got to get it together, right? Say, get it together and leave it alone. Juice lady in the building. How you doing tonight?
I'm well. Now, I need y'all to know now, from now on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm going to be late. Like I told you last week, I got to sign them children up for wrestling. You know, they be over there with the funky freshman, Truman McGee. So they be getting their wrestling on, getting tossed by them little young female children. Pinning them down.
Wait a minute. What you said from now on Mondays and Wednesdays, you're going to be late. That's what you just said, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm having a Mayor Johnson moment. So like,
because I'm always on time. So I'm just letting you know from now on, I'm going to be a tad bit late.
Right. You're always late.
I'm not. But from now on, I will be.
Okay. So more the same. We're just going to keep the party going. How you doing tonight?
I'm well. Wrestling was good. It's raining. Everything's all right. How y'all doing? Y'all all right?
We were here. We were celebrating Kamar's event and the positive vibes that came from it last Saturday. Wellness Our Way down to Sherman Phoenix. But then I had to move in a little buddy, our mayor, because I'm just getting annoyed with this dude, never knowing what the fuck is going on when they interview him about something. Like, hey, you know, it's a crash. And he's like, what?
What?
Hey, he come on the commercial, say, you know, the streets are getting safer. And people said, I'm voting for him. He said 23% safer. First of all, I kept saying, how the fuck did you come to 23%?
Just got to make up numbers, man. It can't sound too false. Can't, you know, not 23 that sound legit. You know, that's how you talk about it. You be like, shit, 2012.
I still say it's the craziest thing in the world for him to be standing there looking in the camera saying, you know what? We don't run MPS, so I don't really know what's going on. And then he says, once again, I'm gonna have to call Keith. Wait.
The nigga side coming out. That's what it sounds like. Sound like the nigga side.
Tells me you know him, so you know exactly what is going on.
Right.
Just because I know you don't even know what's going on.
You ain't listen. He's Director Posley. He's Superintendent Posley. He's Dr. Posley. You said Keith. Let me call Keith. Come on, man. Like this dude is, man. Listen, y'all. That's y'all guy, man. I know y'all want to ride with him. I just somebody who's just. He's just.
That was your man's first. Now.
Spinning you.
Yeah, that was your man's first, Kev.
Right.
You right. You right. I was trying to.
That was your man. That was your man.
That's your man's in them.
Yeah. Y'all right. Y'all. He didn't come to the party with me. I just, he was there when I got there. Like, oh, what's up, little dog?
I know him.
I didn't. I've never even met him before.
No, I thought that was you at the party though.
Like, what up, cuz?
Yeah. You probably didn't call him cuz, you know what I'm saying?
Little
But
dog.
you did say you knew him. I'm gonna give him a chance.
I just looked at another brother getting an opportunity to spread his wings. And I thought it was important to be optimistic in the beginning. I didn't want to be a hater. I didn't want to be like, oh, this shit is doomed. We doomed.
Hey, they just moved his office. That's all they did.
Where'd they move it to?
I know, I'm just saying, same nigga. They just moved his office.
Why not? I didn't know
when he got the mayor job. I'm saying they just moved his office. That was it.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was before then. I had just heard people, and he was just like, he was really up in there, as they say. He was in there. He was, say groomed. Now you have to be careful with how you use the word, right? But he was kind of groomed.
You probably said it right.
Yeah, he was groomed. He was. Come on. You ain't making this no better.
I'm just saying, man, you might have said it right the first time.
See, I was always that little kid sitting in the back of the classroom when the teacher said something they didn't know what they was talking about. I'd be the one to tell her or him. Like, you actually got that wrong, right? And they're like, dude, you in third grade. You don't get to correct me. I'm no, actually go read it again. And they would be wrong. So when I see somebody who's just super, super vague with everything you ask them, it's like Cedric the Entertainer did the joke about George Bush when he was president. He's like, man, this little dude dumb as hell. Like every time he in a press conference and they ask him something, he'd be like, I don't know, I gotta call some people and talk to some people. I feel I'm getting that vibe from our mayor. Now we know what's going on tonight. Tonight could possibly be the removal of said superintendent, Dr. Keith Posley. I don't know him personally, so I can't say my boy Keith, right?
Mhm.
The superintendent
What's
Posley,
up with Keith, Kev?
right? Let me call him, Kamar, right? You know what I'm saying?
Keith,
I mean,
man.
I be acting like that sometimes. Like I know people like when I see Dr. Myers, I really be wanting to be like, Keisha, hey, but it's not. We ain't even tight like that.
See, if
So
I was her,
sometimes you just feel
if I was her, I would tell you that, like, hey, sis, it's good, but you don't really know me. Like that.
I don't.
I'm
I be like,
Alderman Myers. Like, I don't you know we're talking
I
about
be like,
Keith.
and they not Alderman, it's Dr. Myers, it's State
That too,
Representative
all that.
Myers.
There
Not,
you go. Yo,
But
give
you
her
know,
give
but
her a
with
phone.
little buddy saying Keith, that just made it seem like, they be
It
going, they
shows
out
me
to
it
coffee
shows you.
together and shit.
Now the talk is
They go
the talk
fishing
is
together and shit.
based on what's could possibly happen tonight at this school board meeting, in which there is on the agenda to talk about removing the superintendent. And they're saying, okay, well, if they take him away, then who's going to be in there? And I want to lay some of these scenarios out. This is why I said,
white folks.
come on back, but you got to check the whole thing out. It ain't gonna necessarily even be white folks. What this is for years and years, people have said that the city, the mayor's office, should take over MPS, because as it stands, they're two separate entities, right? So MPS is supposedly governed by the board, and those are elected positions. The city they're not affiliated. So they said we don't, that's why he said, we don't really do MPS. But so everybody's saying, well, then the city needs to take over MPS and then break it down. It's too large. It's too large to maintain. Okay, hold that thought, right? Let's go back and say all this really comes once again, it's the same as little buddy downtown. When they interviewed Keith, Dr. Posley, a couple months ago, he was like, when they passed the referendum, he was saying, like, yeah, well, we making a lot of progress. The kids in the school is doing better. The test scores going up. At this time, he's 7 months late with the paperwork to go to the Department of Instruction, and he knows it, and their funding is in jeopardy. There's also a federal query audit, if you will, of the Head Start program. He knew all this shit then. When they asked for the $252 million referendum, the thing they said unequivocally was, we got to do this so we won't have to make cuts. We don't want to cut teachers. We want these kids to have teachers. And soon as they voted it, as soon as the people voted it in, MPS said, we finna cut some people. And they start getting rid of people, starting with 53206 crisis workers, trauma workers for the kids. Starting with them. How you pick to start right there? Now you come to find out that they said, nah, this $252 million, that ain't shit. Hell, this only be just to keep us afloat for this year. Shit, we're gonna have to come back at y'all in a couple years for more. But you said that after you told the people, vote for this and we won't have to. Y'all see where I'm going here? And he was just like his buddy, Mayor Johnson, when they was asking, like, oh, no, we good. Oh, man, these kids showing out. Man, we getting to the money over here. Well, he didn't say that. He should have said that. And there's supposedly millions and millions and millions of dollars missing. What did my sister Aisha Carr say on here? Well, just because it's missing don't mean somebody stole it. What she says just misplaced. What did she say? It's just missing.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's just missing.
We gotta figure out where it's at. That's all.
Right, they put it somewhere. They'll find
Give
it.
it a second.
She should have just said it. It's stolen.
If it's
She ain't here no more anyway. Wasn't no need of trying to cover shit up. Like, just say it.
Well, even when we say stolen, Kamar, people have to understand that it's not just about somebody taking the money home, just stealing directly out the kitty.
Well,
When they have programs and they contract out with agencies, right? And these agencies don't do what they're supposed to do, but they are still paid anyways. Just like Gerard Randall, who was a social service agency, and he was the only person who worked in it, and he got money for 10 years, millions of dollars he got. That is stealing as well.
exactly.
That's stealing
So
as
maybe,
well.
maybe that's what I'm saying. So maybe people should be using the word stealing. Like, maybe it'll raise some eyebrows. Maybe it'll make some people look into some shit. Maybe you say it, goddammit, say it. Quit beating around the motherfucking bush.
The magic word is audit.
Yeah, well, Maybe the word steal can get them to use that word audit.
Right. Well, that's When you say, well, it ain't stolen, you say, okay, we'll find it because we finna do an audit.
Because apparently they ain't showing where the money is. You know what I mean? Like, wasn't they supposed to be showed some kind
It's
of records
missing.
or something?
They 8 months late. Come on.
So if you ain't showed it, goddamn it, it's stolen. We saying it's stolen now because you ain't said nothing different.
If the money's missing, and the report about the money is 8 months late, and they can't find the money, what did that tell you?
Right.
I mean, we just slacking. We just got to get the report together. Just give us a minute.
Listen, man,
quit trying to hold somebody.
Right, just give us a minute. Hold on.
If you consistently blowing money on initiatives that don't work, some of which never even you receive money and you pay people, and some of the initiatives never get off the ground. I've worked for MPS, so I know. I worked with an agency working through MPS. There was a point in my life when every job I had ever had was affiliated in some way with MPS. If I was working there or I was working with a organization that had a program in there, and so it goes on and on and on. I'm just saying, anytime if wasteful spending, when we talk about millions of dollars, and considering who pays that bill is the taxpayers. So, like Kamar said, that's stealing. That's stealing money. It ain't missing, it's stolen because it's gone to somebody who didn't, it was wasted away. Right? So, he does need to go.
Shout out to Beverly Williams. She all over the news, boy. She on their ass. She all over the news. Every time I look up, there's
police
money is being misappropriated.
Police escorting her about the school.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She on your ass, boy. You better watch out, Keith.
Beverly coming for your ass.
Man, and she not listen. When this story is told, years from now, when we look back, you're gonna see she's one of the most vocal, aggressive people when it comes to putting MPS on blast.
Yeah.
And history will show it, because I can just be watching the news and it'll be a story about MPS, and lo and behold,
there she is.
So shout out to her, man. So the question is, what's going to happen? Okay, so going back to that. So MPS is about to change. It's about to, what we knew, it's already gone in terms of Kamar. We old heads. It's nowhere near what it was when we were young, right? There's no such thing as like neighborhood schools anymore. We went to neighborhood schools. That's why me and Rail went to Phillip, right? And Kamar, where you go to elementary school at?
I went to Byron Kilbourne and Grandview.
Okay, how close?
Kilbourne when I was in West Lawn.
And that's close, right? It's a neighborhood school.
Yeah, that's the name.
Now,
don't nobody want to go no damn neighborhood school.
And then Burroughs and John Muir was the middle school that everybody went to. Right. Madison High School was the high school everybody went to.
Yeah. But okay, according to your statement, they don't want to because the neighborhoods ain't what they once were. So,
even when I was in high school,
it used to be the shit going to the neighborhood school.
Now, everybody in my neighborhood on 33rd and Wright, all of us went to Bayview. Like the whole hood went to Bayview, and it wasn't like it was planned. We all ended up there. None of us went to the neighborhood school.
That is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
talking about.
But by then
it start changing though.
But that's not a neighborhood school because some people from the street went there.
No, I didn't say it was a neighborhood school. I said none of us went to the neighborhood school.
Right.
I said we all.
It was a point in time when all that just started changing though, and I think Courtney, right before what I mean, you got it. It started changing right before you. I think.
Well, we got
our generation. I think me and Kev's generation was about the last generation of the neighborhoods going to the neighborhood school
or elementary school. Kamar, but we got 220 hit us for middle school. I went to Bell Middle School on the far south side. So we got shipped out too. And that's what I'm saying. That was the breakup. That's why I'm agreeing with you on that. That was the start of those schools that had been staples of the neighborhood for years. All of a sudden, ain't nobody going there,
But they do still try to make you go there though. Like when you go to MPS, they be trying to get you to go to your neighborhood school. Then be the niggas like, no.
We didn't have. I mean,
they tell you that's what, and then they offer you that, and it's like, I want to try something else.
We had private school and public school, right? There was no charter schools. There was no independent. It wasn't like, no, you went to one of these schools, right? And so
Mhm.
some of them schools is now apartment buildings. That's how you just like that lets you know how much this shit done changed, right? So, but my point is, it has to change. And Posley, in my opinion, has to go. He has to go. I really believe they need a restart, man. And this is, how many superintendents have we had? Let me catch the let me catch the chat room. Dion is in the chat room. He said, I met old boy. He said he met Courtney face to face. John Fletcher, what it do, man?
Mess.
EPUSDS.com. That is the sponsor of this show. You see his website, EPUSDS.com. That's EPU Self-Defense. Holler at my brother John Fletcher. He was at the event as well. He's rocking with Outlaw Radio. He's rocking with the House of Vitality. So he'll be at the next one, as they say.
Yeah.
Shay and Kruma, how you doing, my brother? He said, peace from the mile high income and illegal migrant flooded city. Shout out to you and Shabaka, man, with the Black Experience Enhanced and the Revolutionary Agenda. Said, welcome back, Outlaws. We missed you. Was we off? We was on last Wednesday, right? Or were we off? I don't know. I don't remember. I think we were on last Wednesday. And this is Monday. So we on our normal hoo-ha. Erica Hunt said, what up, Outlaws? I'm at the school board meeting with Beverly Williams. I bet you would. If you had a school board meeting, you definitely with Miss Williams, right? That news is coming. We'll see what the outcome from this is.
I would tell her to put Bev on the phone, but she's probably busy right now.
I'm would never disturb her while she's at work. Right?
Straight up, she's at work.
Leave her alone. Tom Hildenfigure. He said, hey, how you doing? How you doing, Tom Hildenfigure? That's an interesting name. Is that somebody's cousin? That one of y'all cousin? Ain't nobody cousin on the show. Shout out to you, Tom. He said, hey.
What it do, Tom?
Fletch said John Muir was the joint. It was two schools that three when I taught that I didn't like to go to. One was John Muir, one was Edison, and the other one was Edison, John Muir, and Jackie Robinson. I did not like going to them. The students was horrible at them schools. I used to be like, no, I will not go. I will not go. Yeah, you're right, Dion. Jackie Robinson's apartment building. So is Edison now. So MPS, if you're gonna burn up this much of our money in terms of taxpayers' money and whatnot, things got to be done better, more efficiently. As they say, enough is enough. And if this dude, who's the superintendent, can't maintain to be 8 months late, how does this happen? You're almost a year late with the paperwork to get your funding from the Department of Public Instruction. And you sit atop this. You are the face of the great lie. And it's sad that a black man got to fall on the sword. But, you got to call it like a TI is, man. We got to stop. We had this thing on Outlaw Radio where we say, no matter what's counterproductive to the people, no matter what race it is, no matter what creed or color or sexual orientation, if you fucking up in the community, you gotta go.
You gotta go.
It don't matter if you black.
It
don't matter if you Puerto Rican.
My nigga T-Buck used to say, bottom line.
Oh man. He said, this Dion, he said MP has been fucked up since Howard Fuller. Who we talking historically what happened in Milwaukee with education. Howard Fuller, who is a black man, who I think initially had an idea about, adjusting the school system. And I think it turned into a monster. As a matter of fact, I've heard Howard Fuller say that the program he created has created more damage than he ever would have thought possible. Going in, changing, and he was the superintendent of schools when we were in school. It was historic. They actually changed the state law so that he could become, he was missing something. They changed the state law so he could be the superintendent. But his thing was with the charter schools. It was with the choice schools. And it was a movement for it. And it stabbed MPS in the ass. For real. To me, that's what you point to and say, why has MPS, degraded so? Man, listen. On this show, we've read information, we've brought forth information that says these buildings that once held 12, 1,300 students now house 300. Do you realize how big? And you have 5 or 6, 7, 8 of them. That's just huge. And some of them are sharing the building with a charter school. So, and then to put just a cherry on top, you have a 40%, 50% truancy rate. Now, y'all tell me if y'all don't think this dude need to go, right? I think it's time for him to get a new job, man. Like, okay, bro, you had your run, right? Like, it's time to go. As a matter of fact, I'm hearing that what they're going to ask him to do is resign. They're going to ask him to step down. That's what I was getting off the wire. Erica Hunt says, the
I
only
think
answer I
MPS
have.
should get on a campaign to get kids back in the school first, and then figure out how to get some more money.
Ooh, damn! What a fucking revolutionary concept, Kamar. You ain't got no kids.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's figure out how to get the kids back in school first. A more important issue.
Erica says the only answer I have is the work hit the desk. They made a choice to not do the work. Somebody fumbled. There's an office for everything down there. One of the most I used to hate when I worked for MPS. If I had to go to central office for anything, I was like, oh shit. Because you gonna get sent off a couple different times. You're in the wrong office, you got the wrong form, whatever would have you. And I started to say, this is a bureaucratic black hole. And so, and a majority of those people who work down there make buku dala. And did not MPS just put in a raises a couple years ago? A couple people crossed the threshold to $100,000 a year. I seen Brother Keith walking through the parking lot on his way in, and the reporter was like, a little white girl reporter, you got to give her props. She was running with him. It was one of them kind of interviews where first of all, the parking lot, I don't know why he had to park so fucking far away from the building. He's superintendent. That's another thing. If he's parking that far back in the parking lot, he need to step down. You ain't got a parking lot by the door. You should have demanded that shit. Like, I'm the superintendent, man, but I'm parking right here. So he's walking and she's running like, you make $300,000 a year and the majority of your students are poor. Can you explain that? He just was walking. He wasn't saying nothing. I'm like, damn, these are the people who are leading our community, man. She said no fumbling, just disregarding ego. No, that's fumbling. That's fumbling. This is Erica Hunt with this comment. She says no fumbling, just disregarding ego. But that's fumbling. When you say young people say he fumbled the bag. Listen, your budget is $1.5 billion and you make $300,000 a year. If you do anything to fuck that gig off, you fumbled the bag. I would have been on everybody's ass from day uno. Y'all ain't finna make me lose my shit. I make $300,000 a year.
Straight up.
Everybody in this motherfucker fired. What you mean you ain't got to get?
I'll be the only motherfucker in there working.
Man, I've been a motherfucker like Joe Clark with a bat walking around like they used to call me.
I'll be in there motherfucker trying to do everybody's job to keep my job.
Man, that motherfucker in there just sleep. He sleeps on the floor in the office. That's what she found when she came. Is he in there asleep? He spent the night.
You know what I'm saying? This nigga don't go home.
Man, did you get too comfortable? Because the only other answer is you're inept, which means you should have never had the job anyways, right? You're not competent in regards to doing this job. Yes, you are a doctor, of course, so you get that props, but you failed in this initiative, right? And so, yeah, it's time for him to go, and it's time for a lot of people to go. And it's sad that it has to come down to a situation where the poorest community, the poorest group of people in the state, probably, I don't know. I know here in Milwaukee, our median income as Black folks is $29,000 median income. meaning total money that comes through the house. Now, if you saying this shit, motherfucker might report that kid, but he's still socks and DVDs on the weekend. Okay, whatever. The median income, and that's usually 2 adults, is $29,500 for black people, and for white people, it's like $60,000. And that's been for a while. This is what I'm saying. All these black leaders, all the black organizations have come in and made a whole bunch of hoopla, but ain't nobody did shit about that. Maybe I ain't listening good enough, but I ain't even heard nobody come in and say, hey man, stop the bullshit. It's 29 to 60. This shit got to be addressed. I ain't heard it. I ain't seen it. But you raised it. You put a tax increase on these people. So everybody else can drive into the city, go to the lakefront, go to the theater, and go to Brewer Park, and then drive back to their suburbs. And the poor people left paying all the goddamn taxes. This is Milwaukee. I love it here. Did I say that? I love Milwaukee, man. I actually do. I know it don't sound like it, right? Like, why don't he just fucking move to Chicago? She said they want to do a closed session to discuss Keith's position. It's funny how he just Keith now. Nobody's calling him Dr. Posey. What up,
that
Keith?
nigga probably finna lose his job, man. They just calling him Keith.
They saying it down there like Keith. Come on in.
It's all disrespect now. Fuck him.
We just saying what the mayor said, nigga. No. Yeah, I bet you they is having a closed session. Man. Yeah, come on. My father used to call this. He said them some jive turkeys. Some jive time turkey. And that was like the most uncool thing to be called, apparently. The way he said it with conviction. Like, don't be no jive ass turkey. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? But yeah, man. And then I told y'all on Saturday when I was doing Wellness Our Way, I said, Monday night is going to be great because it's so much going on. So the Tangerine King, 34 felonies he's convicted for. That's right. On one case, 34 felonies. And he's still in the presidential race. As a matter of fact, his campaign, 48 hours after, $52 million raised. Right? The one thing that popped in my head instantaneously, right? I love 3-syllable words. How many instantaneous? Oh, that's more than 3. That's multi-syllabic, right?
All in the day.
The thing that caught me the most is I said to myself, if you get convicted of 34 felonies, there's no way you can avoid being incarcerated. It should not possibly be.
That's what it's saying, right?
But so if he does get elected president, so is he going to be in prison and running the country? It's just funny. I'm like, y'all, okay, $52 million. Y'all still want him to be in the race. He just got convicted of 34 felonies. I've been around some hoodsters. I've been around some real street dudes who caught cases with football numbers. I ain't never had a partner. And most of the time, they are brothers who done 20, 30 years in the joint. He didn't have 23 felonies. So this is going to be interesting to watch. And I'm hearing echoes, people saying, well, white people going to act a goddamn fool if Trump don't win the presidency. So I'm like, that's something to ponder. I have a neighbor who, for all these years we've been here, he and I and my wife and his wife, we've all, we've been cool. I done went over there and chill with him. He works on cars and shit, but he just became really Trump MAGA. I don't know when this happened. It just, all of a sudden he got a flag in his yard. So about make America, all this. I'm like, is that, my wife and I always be like, is that some shit at us? is that at us? Cause you live next door to some real black people, right? He knows this. We've conversed before. So it's crazy. And so I'm like, I'm looking at it, and then I see all these black people coming out saying, I support Trump. And his thing was, he said this shit. Black people relate to me because of my legal troubles. Black people, that's what we doing. I'm voting for him. I'm voting for him because he's a felon. Wait,
Kev, I
black people.
don't think black people are really voting for him because of that. I think that's just some shit he said to make some black people think like, damn, he going through some shit too. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's really no black people out here looking at dog like that. Like, oh, that's OG right there, nigga. He caught a case. Man, fuck.
Mar, there's some brothers who express that exact sentiment if you talk to them. I fuck with Trump because I feel like he real. I'm gonna tell you how it breaks down. I done heard brothers say this. I fuck with Trump because he real, man. He just say what he do what he do, man. He don't get no fuck. He be all up in court and shit. I've heard black people say that, checking judges, and I'm like, okay, you like him because he is a
Because he got
habitual
white
line
privilege.
stepper. I want to know what they're gonna do. But so is the president gonna have to wear ankle bracelet?
I think
How does he?
I think it's gonna come out that they're gonna tell him he can't run for president. I think they're gonna do just enough to keep him off the ballot. He ain't gonna go to jail. That's what I think gonna happen.
I don't think they can. I think there's no legal ruling that he can't run just because he's a convicted felon.
So I thought a convicted felon couldn't be a president.
No, well, I don't know about that one, Kamar. I just know about running because it came out
I don't
soon
know. I
as
could be very wrong too.
well, yeah,
You
it's
would
good
think
that
some
both of
shit
us
like
right,
that,
yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
fuck, I'm a felon. I can't work at a bank. You know what I'm
But
saying?
you can
Watch
be
this shit.
president.
I'm gonna be president. You know?
Well, I would think that if there's nothing to keep you from running, if you won, then there's nothing to keep you from being the president, right? They ain't gonna let you win to be like, oh, our bad, we forgot to tell you.
Oh no,
Yeah.
nigga, no, nigga, no, nigga.
Man, did you talk to your lawyer? Call Keith. I'm just saying, man. I want to see how this plays out. Now, of course, as a black man, I always tell people I don't believe in the two-party system because I believe, Republicans and Democrats are both egregious in their treatment of us, and especially the way they try to pander sometimes. And it's Hillary Clinton, who's a Democrat, walking around telling she got hot sauce in her purse. Donald Trump come out with the ugliest fucking Ronald McDonald ass sneakers you ever seen in your goddamn life. He said I heard him say they like sneakers. African Americans, they love sneakers. They love shoes. I'm like, boy, you about the dumbest. But there's some black people who go. They look his rallies, like in New York and all around the country, been on fire. And black people really dancing that jig next to him, like my president is white, right? I don't. It's crazy. I don't really care because I feel like last time when he was president, we were able to survive it. I don't feel he got a snowball's chance in hell of stopping us because I believe our existence and our mission is divine. I mean, if you look at the history of us in this country, and see, this is where I really get upset with my people sometimes because instead of really crying about all the shit they've done, we should be admiring ourselves that we still fucking survive. Because we had to be some bad motherfuckers to persevere through all this shit and still have a little small hope of optimism. To say, nah, I'm gonna be able to do this shit. I can be somebody. That's what Jesse Jackson said. I am somebody. Right? Now, after you done been kicked, hanged, skint, drowned, drugged, raped, shot, stabbed, dragged, and we still like, hey man, it's still hope. Keep hope alive, right? Just saying. Yeah, what's popping, man? You on the line. What's going on? Hold on, Dion. Hold on. Uh-oh. Did I faux pas? Dion, hold on. Give me a second.
Yeah, I don't hear.
Yeah, thanks, Real. Thanks. I don't hear him either, Real. Oh man, let me get this thing. My Bluetooth. Talking all this shit. I'm Keith. I'm Keith tonight. I'm talking all this shit. I didn't have my Bluetooth on. What is the deal? Let me see. Hold on, Dion. Give me a second, man. Give me a second. I gotta connect. Y'all got this new phone. Forgives me. This thing, boy, he don't give me no slack. You just won't act right. I noticed this too about my house. My neighborhood I live in, which has been pretty cool for as far as I can remember. And there's been some murders over here, man. whole neighborhood taped off type shit. Now I'm thinking to myself, is the writing on the wall? I mean, I love the Northwest side, but I'm like, it might be time to move around. And we just haven't, and this is like the second one in a couple months. So, I'm you live in the neighborhood and you want to be comfortable, but then you start to notice, hey man, something's going wrong here. I might need to leave. So I don't know. Have y'all either one of y'all noticed that in y'all neighborhood? Like it used to be way more comfortable. All of a sudden, this tension is starting to just be everywhere.
Yeah, my neighborhood is getting progressively worse every year. Like I bought my house 12 years ago. First 5, 6 years was straight. All my neighbors were homeowners. You know what I'm saying? They were like either white or black homeowners. Shit,
Okay.
now we got more renters on the block, and then Barada them bought up all the apartments around me. I live off of Silver Spring. So they done bought all the apartments on the 90s in Silver Spring. They done bought all the apartments on like 95th and Carmen and Thurston and shit. So like in the last 3 years, my block been getting terrible as fuck. And I was thinking about leaving along with all the other homeowners that's selling their shit. But I'm noticing more and more Hmong people are starting to move into my neighborhood. And no matter how bad the block gets, it seems like they able to avoid the bullshit. So I'm like, if I just put my heels in and hold on a little longer, I mean, I might be in little Hmong town, but shit, that's
Do what they
better
do,
than
what the
little Barada
Hmongs do.
town. You know what I'm saying?
Do as
Hey,
the Hmongs do.
I'm not far from you, so I know I live by their school and their grocery store. So dig that. Dion, I'm good now. Hit me up. Hit me up. I did the Bluetooth thing, so we're good. Or anybody else who want to call in, if you've been trying to call in. It's my fault. It's my fault. But yeah, this conversation, it can go in circles because we start talking about what do we need to do? What can we do? What can we do? I've always been steadfast on attacking poverty. I believe poverty, because we've discussed on here poverty creating the survival mode. Like that's what extreme poverty does. It creates this almost animalistic instinct in people. It's that survival, it's that survival. Like I'm trying to live. So I think if you started, and I think it should be systematic, meaning that here we are in a place where think about this. They've been working on the Marquette interchange and the Zoo interchange. The freeways don't look nothing like, that's something else that changed. Don't look nothing like it did when I was younger. Like even when you go through downtown, it used to be the big ass building with the whales on it and all this kind of shit. This shit been redone 4 or 5 times. That is infrastructure. Why are our kids not being given opportunities, better opportunities to say, I'm going to train to do a trade so I can, participate in the rebuilding the infrastructure, right? Instead, we have shit we don't even need in the schools. And not to just do a feathery approach, to start saying, no, we're going to make students choose a path. As soon as you come in high school, you're going to sit down with a guidance counselor and they're going to say, do you want to go into vocational arts or you want to go into liberal arts? Meaning, do you want to be a carpenter, a mason, a CNC machine operator, truck driver, large equipment operator, or do you want to be a lawyer, a teacher, accountant? Y'all feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you make them choose.
Yeah.
And you create opportunities instead of giving all these rich ass white developers all the money.
I think as a
Diversify
junior,
your
I
contracts.
think as a junior in high school, I think kids should start figuring out some kind of skill, like you said, whether is it going to be liberal or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And
I think
and
it should
and
start in
and
ninth
get
grade.
set on that path. So by the time they get out of high school, you know what I'm saying?
You're
Okay, I
going
got
right there.
credentials where I could go start this plumber work, or I'm on my way to college. You know what I'm saying? One or the other. I got options here. It ain't just one or the other.
Now, Kamar, I will say this because this is where I got to talk to my people for they bullshit. There's a thing called a promise program at MATC where you can go for free. And they got 1,000,001 trades down there. How does I know? Because I used to work there. That's when I was on that plantation. Dion, I got you loud and clear now. What's popping, man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, brother.
Oh, okay. Nothing, just sitting back, always enjoying. But like, I'm trying to think. I don't know, man. It's just so hard because I think people sit around and they think it's the easy solution, the easy fix for some of the things that be going on. Like I used to always ask you about crime. You know, some of these solutions really are not easy fixes. Even with the truancy rate and the literacy rate, but first of all, like you said, you got to get the kids into school. Okay, who in charge? Who are responsible for the kids getting to school? The parents are responsible. But if you have younger age parents, they 21, 23, not even 30 yet. They wake up hungover, probably been bopping out in the streets all night, whatever they choose to do with their life. Because I work in the MPS school, even though I work in the cafeterias, but I still can see some of the residual effects of the lifestyle that these kids deal with every day. Like, you'll be surprised. It'd be so many children coming in late, getting their little lunch. Getting their little break. I get there at 9:30. What time school starts? No, it starts at 7 to 8. So if I'm getting there at 9:30, you got 20, 30 kids still coming late behind, getting lunches. I see a lot of them with behavior disorders. And this is just on the elementary level. This ain't even middle school because they go.
It is. Don't get me wrong.
Is this Erica? I don't know who that was.
Then we get Keith Posley. I feel like I told you, I said that maybe the feds need to come in and do an audit on MPS to see what's going on. But then it goes back to say, why do we always need the white man to come into our neck of the woods and fix our BS? That's just like with Keith Posley, African American man. Has the title of a doctor. Maybe not a medical doctor, but most people don't have that title as a doctor. Like you said, and you damn near killed me. You said, shit, I come up in there, ain't nobody gonna fuck my little $300,000. And but what could he have done to restructure? Because then it goes back to say, you got a lot of people, a lot of old heads that been up in there. And sometimes when that's just like we always talk about with aldermen stuff. You got a lot of old heads that work for MPS sometimes. They know where the skeletons and where the money hid at and do this. They don't want people coming up in there staking and moving stuff around, because then, boom, now the skeletons in the closet, a lot of shit gonna be revealed. Like, who was that not too long ago, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago? I think he was the Tom Barrett brother, and he did some bullshit with some money, and he was able to resign or retire real quietly. But the African American went through the same thing, and it was just all in the media. I can't quite remember what the situation was, but it was definitely fucked up.
Just merging.
I just really wish he'd go away. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm like, but it just shows you. And see, we gotta be careful with what Trump is doing, because I was watching something on USSR about Russia. Hold on, I'm not fully all the way healed yet. My throat's still a little, so I gotta catch my breath every now and then because
I'm already you about to hear some black people shit.
I start sporadically coughing.
You spoke on here before.
I don't use drugs.
Okay.
Hello?
Go
ahead.
Okay. And see, what we got to do is we got to be careful, because they were talking about how Vladimir Putin had changed the Russian constitution to allow him to run more than one term. So with the United States Constitution, that's just like one time I asked another person, if Trump win again, does that count as his 2 terms? Because he didn't do 2 terms consecutive. He did it like lost one and came back. So will he be able to run 2 times, and he fuck around and be able to change that constitution where he'll be inevitable, where it's like he can run forever and he can't get unelected for president. So we have to be careful with that, though. You understand what I'm saying?
First of all, he ain't gonna live that much more longer. He's like 9,000 years old.
But the
he
thing,
ain't gonna do no
about
3
it is,
terms. He ain't got 3
you know what?
terms in him.
Check it out. The people who all this shit is happening about, that's why I tell you when I always be talking about the past is real important. The Confederates, those people are long gone. They dead. We're removing their statues. But guess what? This is what they put in place years ago when we were just released from bondage. This is
The
things that they put in
Confederates,
place.
Dion, the Confederates
Yeah,
lost. They didn't put shit in
all that
effect.
much.
And listen,
They lost. They didn't push. They was overtaken. Hold on, Dion. Hold on, because Ernest is Ernest. What's going on, man?
Yes, sir.
What's
I'm
popping?
sitting here with my man Kevin Miller across the alley, man. You know what I'm saying? He used his white privilege to get away from some motherfucking DUI and shit. They making him do 1 day overnight in jail and slapped him on his wrist around this motherfucker. I'm glad they did because he might die and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I missed the show. I was trying to watch it, but my phone acted funny. So I called in just to see, and Dion basically explained what y'all talking about. You know, it is what it is and do what it do. I'm out here celebrating with the white boy because he got his white privilege shit approved today.
I got the earnest approval.
Yeah, he gonna try to say I helped him out. I ain't did nothing. But yeah,
I heard today.
so the thing is though, man, you know, we all know common sense is a motherfucker, you know. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? Things shouldn't be like they should be. We all know that. So as common sense people, we still have to move and operate in certain type of ways. You know what I'm saying? We still don't do shit just because you mad. Oh, I'm mad. Well, it shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be like this. Motherfucker is like that. That's what I want to add to it. It's like that, and that's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So, hey,
It's
the best
like
thing that you can
that.
do is
That's
no.
the way
The best thing you
it
can do is no.
is.
That's it. You know, the best thing you can do is no.
Okay.
What up,
It's
K-Bull?
like that, and that's the way it is.
So okay. So I wanted to talk. Dion said some stuff. Dion always, he does his thing. He runs
no,
everything
I'm
down.
still here.
I
ain't went nowhere.
I'm gonna say it to your face. I know you're still here. You was what it sounded like you started going down was that woe is me shit again. See, some people
No, it
can't.
went always me.
Hold on. Let me. I believe I gave you ample time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you start saying some people just don't know and they's young. I was way under 30 when I had a child, right? And there's no excuse for you not to know when you have a child. Then you need to learn it. Because if you know, you don't know. So once again, we get into, that's a tough problem because people got it hard. And no, I used to work for the truancy abatement and burglary suppression program in Sherman Park. You know what we did? You know what they did? Milwaukee police would drive around the city, and any kid who wasn't in a school building, they put them in a paddy wagon. They brought them to the processing center in Sherman Park. I was the case manager of the children who had extreme absences, who were just not going to school. The law was then, and I don't know if they changed it, is if your child is under 17 and they're not going to school, you get a ticket. There's a fat ass ticket. So when the parents hear that they finna get a ticket, then they can get enrolled in the program that I was working with, where I started working with the kid, trying to figure out why they don't go to school, trying to figure out what's the barrier. You had some kids who didn't want to go to school because they didn't have money and they said I get ribbed on, I got no clothes. So I'm like, okay, well, go to school every day for a month and get a voucher and take you to TJ Maxx and get you some fits. I would do that. 3 months later, the kid's still in school getting it done because he got some fresh fits now. So you got to create programs like that where you hold the parents for them to say, I didn't know, or nobody showed me they getting away with bloody murder. There should not be, because this is the one thing you can't blame Keith Posley for. A 40% tolerance. Come on, man. Just to have a 40% truancy rate. That is unimaginable. So that's not just him. That is the parents in the community as well. and you got to come up with some penalties for them.
How
Okay.
do we get the kids back into school?
We gonna find the parents if they don't show up.
Hey, but you know what, though? I'm going to keep it a buck with you, though. That shit sound like what Kamala Harris was doing over there in California. So you already, see, now it's confusing to me because we just said we already living in poverty. So you gonna try to find a parent who barely making it and threaten them with jail time and all this bullshit because they kid can't make it to school.
Yes, I am.
That to me don't even make sense.
Well, it makes sense.
Is the child the parent's responsibility?
He is. He
that's what I'm asking Dion. Is the child the parent's responsibility?
Yes.
Well, then you know what I mean. There we go.
We don't know what type of underlying circumstances that that parent dealing with neither. Maybe they dealing with.
That's that. But you know, Dion, look,
back and forth to school.
Hey, Dion, that's the whole thing about what Kevin's saying. That's the whole thing about what Kevin's saying. Finding out what's wrong. Why the kid ain't coming to school? What's going on here? So maybe we could fix that.
If they participate.
I don't know if we still got those type of resources. Because I remember back in the days they used to give people like bus tickets and bus passes, but I don't even know if those type of resources are available now. And then even if you probably gave the parent a bus pass every week, I mean, you know, it just is what it is. You know, motherfuckers be dealing with shit.
Okay, well, hold on, right there, that's it. What you just said, that's it right there. It is what it is. So you know what? I'm poor and they gave me a ticket. It is what it is because you won't correct this shit. And maybe if I say, I'm gonna tax your po ass if you don't get your baby to school, then you'll say, hey, I take this shit serious. I gotta figure something out here.
Now, is this for children that are failing or just children in general? Because my thing is when you get to telling motherfuckers to have your child at a certain place or I'm coming to see you, now I have issues because if my child is passing, don't worry about where the fuck my child is during school hours as long as they making their numbers. Right. That's how I feel. Like that shit is too much. Like I already don't like school, but then when you get to come and telling me where the fuck my child need to be at a certain time, now I really don't like school. And before I yield to that, I'll find a way to homeschool my child.
I'm gonna tell you this with that. What you saying is the fact that at the same time we got a 40% truancy rate, our literacy levels, our math levels, our science levels are at hold on. They're at the all-time low. So if you can come to me and say, this is a parameter in the program. If you come to me and say, listen, my son has a 3.5 grade point average, he or she does not have to go to school. You know what I'm gonna say to you then? Then you need to take him out of this school and put him in an accelerated program. We have schools that specialize in those kinds of students. Your child is gifted. 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. That was your case. You are, I guarantee you an individual. I guarantee you. I had to go to school to learn. You gotta be there.
Real saying, you know what I mean?
I get what he's saying too, but it's an anomaly.
If they ain't coming to school and they failing, that's different. You know what
I
mean?
Right.
Some kids homeschool.
Right.
You know
or if they
knock those kids.
They don't count homeschool students in truancy. They don't count that.
That's what I'm saying. I would just take my kids out of school and find a way to homeschool them with a curriculum before I get to worrying about motherfuckers telling me where I gotta have my kids throughout the day.
Well, you know what that's called, Rail? That's called doing something.
Hey,
that's called
like that shit.
that's called doing something. That's okay. I took my kids out. I took them out, and I'm homeschooling.
You tell my kid, Rail, he started getting excited.
I don't care if your kid got a 4.0 average. Hold on, Ewok in the background. Ewok.
Hey, Real, I think I just saw your emotions fluctuate for the first time. Don't tell me where I can put my kids.
No, but I tell you what, I don't care if your kid got a 4.8. If he don't come to school all year, he should be taken out that school because obviously that school's not challenging him.
Right.
So I'm not gonna say, give him a break. He got an A. No, he need to bring his ass to school. If he don't, you school him, Real. Keep him at home then. That's what you're doing anyway.
That's what I would do, and I think if more parents did that shit,
chime in on this.
I guess.
No.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, y'all?
What's going on, man?
I'm going through some things with my kids and my daughter's school right now with truancy, and it's a little bit off script what we're talking about, I think, but she's on academic probation through the truancy and all this stuff, and I am as well for the parent held liable by this. And my daughter's only 10 years old. She's in student council. She gets good grades and she does everything well, but she has a chronic illness and the disease hypothyroidism and the risk of all these diabetes and stuff that we're going on through right now. So we're in and out of the hospital doing this stuff 3-4 days, sometimes a lot. And she missed a lot of school. But because even though I had the medical documentation stating that she was, excused for so-and-so days, they put us on this probation because I didn't, as a parent, call in every single day, regardless of the fact I had the documentation, the chronic illness forms all filled out, all these things going on in the school districts. And some of the truant officer even told me that there's issues with how the school operates and how things are being done and whatnot. But that's besides the point, because my daughter had missed so much school because of this. It had nothing to do with skipping or not going to school. I drive her to school every day. They don't take the bus. And they hit us up with that truancy and they put us on that record. And we had the people come to the thing. I had to go to court. Now we're on probation. It's simply because of those tasks. And my daughter is still, excelling in school.
It's also because you just admitted that you wouldn't call. If I had to call the school every day to keep from getting on probation, I would call the school every day. You said,
grown ass
hold
man.
on.
It ain't no
He got a kid.
business
He has a
why
child.
his
Listen,
daughter at home.
hold on. You said you dropping her off. I'd be getting out the car, walking her in, saying, "Hey."
I do.
So if you do that, then you
them.
need to get a lawyer. There shouldn't be any way you got proof.
Fuck all that.
Well, that's the
you
attitude.
Walk in there, you bring the doctor's notes to do everything, and they're well aware. I've gone through filing for the chronic illness program through the school, so they're aware of that she gets sick.
Can I add something?
You need a lawyer.
I think it's another reason why this is a big issue and why I feel like they attack the parent. Because see, the schools need the attendance to get more money, right?
That's all it is. That's why they care about your kid being in school.
So I think really that's it. Because I think they taking a lot of shit out of the school. They really, MPS I'm talking about, they really don't give a fuck what the kids learning apparently. You know what I'm saying? About what they learning and what they graduating with. But I just think that, you know what I'm saying, they attacking the parents more so because of that. Because the issue is, like Kev said, figuring out how to get the kids there. What's making the kids not want to be in school? Because a lot of the time, parents are sending their kids to school, but their kids ain't going. So I think the more the issue is, let's figure out why the kids ain't coming. You know what I mean? And figure that out. But you know what I mean? But they attacking the parents, I think, for the money issue.
That's exactly what it was.
Well, I
had to have a sit down with the school board and about this when I filled out the chronic illness paperwork and whatnot. And the first thing that they brought up was a key point that they made was that they're not getting paid for my child to go to public school anymore because they had missed so much time.
Right.
And that was a key factor, what they were going off of. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do? Am I supposed to send my kid to a different school and this? And they gave me a whole runaround and really they came down on me like I was supposed, now, and they gave other options. Like they wanted my daughter to come to school, even though she was ill. But they said that this is what they were limited to. They were going to offer my daughter a wheelchair that somebody would have to push her around through class to class to come to school, even ill.
Okay, so this story,
just like prison, they get paid per bed.
This story is unique, and there's something that's missing. There's information that's missing. I'm just gonna be the first one to say this because this is archaic, and this is a policy issue for public schools. I feel like in the situation you're in, if it's in fact accurate, you could call any television station in the city and say, "Come look at this shit. Come check this out," and it would blow the whole system up. Now, I say this a lot of times about when I talk to people about what's going on in the school, more often than not, I'm talking to somebody who's never worked in a school, who's never been a teacher, who doesn't understand curriculum, who doesn't understand curriculum implementation, who doesn't understand programming. So I say this again. If your kid is so goddamn smart that he don't never got to come to school and he can come on test day and pass every test, that school should say, you need to put him somewhere else. He's too smart. That's an exception. If your child is sick and you go and you produce documentation and you're steadfast and you're there should be no way that they can end up on probation. You need a lawyer. That's your next step because you have a lawsuit on hand. So, like I said, but I'm one of them dudes who does what he needs to do when the shit get hot. So if I'm having this issue, we're gonna make it a plan. We're gonna make it a plan to say every day if she's missing, somebody need to call that damn school. Or I maybe need to even go up to the school and say she ain't gonna be here today. I came to get her work. Right? You see what I'm saying? Somebody, I don't know if you work or not. So situations, dictate circumstances, but I'm just saying I've never heard an issue as long as I've been involved in education where the parent did everything they needed to do and still ended up on probation. I've just never heard the story before. So God bless you in your fight against that. But I know what Rail is talking about. Rail is talking about just not wanting to go to school.
And if they meet the requirement, they shouldn't have to. Don't find them a harder school so they can go every day.
Why not?
You punishing them for being smart.
No, you not. You expanding their horizons. That's how you get advanced people. They
can learn that shit at home in the garden.
Man, how many kids can stay at home from kindergarten to 12th grade and be smarter than fucking it's not
I think a lot of it also depends on the values that the parent want in that child too. You know what I'm saying? Because each parent is different. You know what I'm saying? I feel like as long as the child is doing what it's supposed to do, to pass all the tests that it's supposed to pass and the grade that the child is in, you know what I mean? If the parent feel like that's cool, okay, now I'm gonna teach them some more stuff that I feel like the child should learn that the school can't teach. You know what I mean? I think that's where Real coming from also. You know what I mean? And I also understand it from Kev's point of view. You know what I mean? If your kid is doing good in the school, he doing better, or he or she is doing better than they should be in that grade, and that school just ain't pushing them hard enough, and you the type of parent that wants your kid to excel more in school, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, you want them to go to another school that's gonna push them harder. I think it's just about the values of the parent, and neither is wrong.
We talking about one singular situation. We could say what if all day.
Right.
What if the back end didn't work on the car and the parent couldn't get to school? Listen, what I just gave you earlier about the testing, the test levels for our kids, they are horribly behind everybody else in the state. They're not testing, don't matter. You got to have some sort of assessment, right? So if it was the case that most of these kids are smart and they getting good grades, they just don't come to school, the test scores wouldn't look like this. That's what I'm telling you. There are situations where you might have a kid who's smart enough to not have to be there every day, but that's against the norm. In Milwaukee, what's going on is kids are failing. They ain't staying at home coming on test day. Oh, I just do this test. No, that's not what's happening. And so I want to talk about the reality of what it is, not what it could be. Well, listen, I'm dealing with these parents. I heard every story. I've heard I work third shift and I come in early in the morning and they still be sleeping. Then I go to sleep and they don't wake up. What? You come in third shift. You need to make sure you wake your kids up and everybody's out the house before you go to sleep. We ain't talking about nothing but about a 2-hour difference. You stay up 2 more hours. People say, Kev, you don't know what I do. I haul transmissions all day. It's always going to be an excuse instead of just getting the shit done. Well, what if, man, you don't know. I just feel like we just make too many damn excuses, man.
Yeah.
And it be dysfunction. We won't just take this shit head on. We keep saying, well, maybe life was hard. Maybe he didn't have no daddy. Maybe he didn't have no mama. Maybe his grandmother didn't have no toes. Instead of just saying, man, here go the rules, here go the laws. Play the game or get played by the game. To me,
nobody gives a fuck.
Okay.
You just got to get the shit done.
I just gave you a letter that said you are required to do.
You don't get a pass if you don't know, didn't know.
Right. There you go. Ignorance can't be your excuse. Especially when I've been sending mail, calling you, sending emails, sending texts. And if I hand you that paper that says, hey, if you don't XXX by XXX, you're going to get sada, and you say, fuck that shit. You get sada.
Right.
You chose your fate. Like, shout out to that brother, man. You know, shout out to him if he has a lawsuit on his hands as far as I'm concerned, because we're talking about dealing with you don't play with disabled people, right? Especially nowadays. You don't play with disabled people, man. And if they violating her rights like that, somebody ass need to be locked up. And I wouldn't be accepting, well, there's something wrong with how they process it. Fix the shit then. I'm on probation because of this shit. Like, I'd be the new Michael King. I'd be on TV every night. Like, I had a dream that one day my daughter could be sick and stay home from school. But I know that was a bad joke. My bad, y'all. Fix MPS.
Hey, and then also, like we was just saying, like, no, nobody cares. Just the rules is the rules. Like, with the school system, you know what I mean? The rules is the rules. We have to comply with those rules if we're gonna put our kids in the school. You know what I mean? If you're gonna homeschool them, homeschool them. If not, they need to go to school.
There you go. You can't be at the crib all day chilling while I'm at work, and your excuse is, I get good grades. You taking your ass to school.
Straight up.
You will not be
something. Or you gonna do all I got a bunch of more shit for you to do too. Like, school ain't
your ass gonna be boiling the shit out of some elderberry.
Straight up. Get your apron.
He might be growing and picking that shit. You don't want to go to school, motherfucker. You elderberry, man. I'm gonna give you this part of the business.
I think I'm going to school, Daddy.
Right. Yet. Hey, look, that's my pops with his junk truck. He said, you do this or you go to school. Shit, I'm going to school. I'm not on this motherfucker like that, swinging this goddamn sledgehammer all day. So you make a choice. Once again, I respect everybody's individuality, and nothing's one size fits all. But this is why you need services like case managers, like what I was doing. Like, and I'm not saying I was the greatest at it. I'm saying the program was there, and it was there a long time, where I went into some of these homes where these kids was from and said, oh shit, the front and the back door open. Was that a chicken I just seen? This is real shit, man. I went in these homes. I talked to these parents. Oh, well, you know, you got 7 kids. 6 of them live in the house. You work third shift. The youngest here, and don't nobody wake him up for school. I'm on somebody's ass. Somebody better wake dude up in the morning and get him off to school.
Straight up.
You know, I'm just saying, like, it's just like Keith. I was talking about brother Keith. You in his office all this time, you see shit out of balance, and you just chilling. Hey, you all right? Did you check on that thing? Oh, no, I forgot. Okay, it's cool. We'll do it next week. Hell no. What's wrong with you, brother? You about to mess the money up. I'm just saying. Okay. I mean, I might, people say, Kev, you on your mighty horse, on your high horse, because you didn't have issues that I had. And anytime the school told us we had to do anything for our kids, especially if it was an attendance policy, we followed it to the T. Now, if they still had chosen to persecute us, we would have got an attorney. We would have just sued. How much do you take? We certainly not gonna let this go on long enough so that I eventually end up on trial for the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, you know, shout out to dude, man. Shabaka saying cool greetings from Sin City. He said, we going live tomorrow night on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. We'll be discussing the situation in Shreveport. I'm not up on it. I don't know what's going on in Shreveport. Anybody know what's going on in Shreveport? He said more reason for homeschooling. Listen, if you want to homeschool your kid and you feel like you could do it, do your thing. I was a classroom teacher and I wouldn't want to homeschool my kid. Because first of all, I got to get the fuck about the house. I'm not sitting here all day with you. You know what I'm saying? I know they get money for it, but that's a hell of an undertaking. Most people don't even understand what teaching a class involves until they've actually done it. I had this thing when I used to teach for MPS, because my brother would always say, I'd be like, man, I'm tired. He'd be like, you ain't done shit. You don't do shit all day. You a teacher. I used to be like, dude, I will give you my schedule one day. You will not last the whole day. By the time 3rd hour lunchtime come, I could see my brother walking smooth the fuck up out to school. Like, y'all got me fucked up. That shit is not easy. It's 30 kids, 5 classes, 30 kids. You got to grade every paper. You got to do a lesson plan, and it has to be effective enough to deal with each individual's learning style. Some cats is visual, some cats is hands-on, some dudes need to study. He can't hardly read that good. We got to send him to the reading center.
Right.
As
This
a
nigga
teacher,
ain't got no attention span.
right? He on them drugs. He on the ADAs. He a zombie over here in the corner, right? And a teacher has to do this. They call it classroom management. And so it's not an easy job, And I think there's some great teachers in MPS. I worked with some who was hard working. That's why they principals and superintendents now. They was about that life for real. No, I'm an educator. This is what I do. There's some bums too, though. I know that. Some motherfuckers stealing. Them and Keith. It ain't stealing, it's missing. Is anybody watching the WNBA? I don't know. Are we still not watching the WNBA? Or we got race wars in the WNBA. Have y'all seen this?
Yeah, I seen that with Caitlin.
Yeah.
I seen that a little bit.
Is this the sensationalism created just to promote the league? Or is this just real? The women have just become more competitive and are balling.
I think sisters in the WNBA is like, hold on, man, why y'all glorifying this white girl like that? You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just like, you see motherfuckers do shit like that in the NBA, and they ain't got to be white, but it just feel like they getting a lot of action that they really shouldn't be getting or something. And I ain't saying she don't deserve the action. I'm just saying, like, like you get players like that where other players in the league don't like said player. You know what I mean? Because of something.
Especially if you're a rookie. Hot shot ass rookie.
I feel like something. And you see that with rookies too. You know what I mean? This ain't the first time. They I feel like they blasting it like that because it's her. And that may be one of the reasons why they doing this shit.
They're selling tickets, right? I don't know, for years and years, I don't think anybody watched. I didn't even know when the season started or ended and shit. I'd be like, damn, they hooping.
It all started with that damn jersey. That's when people started to watch it because celebrities start wearing that girl jersey or whatever that shit was.
Caitlin?
Yeah.
Okay. I think all in. Okay, so for me as a man, and keep in mind, I'm speaking from a heterosexual male mind.
Say a what?
A heterosexual male mind, right? I've always had kind of an issue with the WNBA because, damn, it's bad for me to admit this. It was hard to look at them as women because a lot of them looked like men and were leaning more towards the lesbian side. Not to say that I don't that I got something against lesbians, but I don't want to see a group of lesbians play basketball against each other. I know I'm fucked up for looking at it that way, but that's how America.
And that Caitlyn girl show got some strong features.
Well, they said she's straight.
Oh no!
I questioned if she was a she.
Like, everything they ever taught you is a goddamn lie.
Everything they ever taught you, Kamar. Holy shit! I don't like to question, especially in this day and age. And let me go back to this too, because I can't clean it up because I already said it. But I mean, when I said that, I meant like, okay, so you ever watch track and field, right? Like track and field. The sprinters, the sisters, the sprinters.
Lojo.
Yeah, those kinds of stuff. The sisters fine, right? You saying, man, I'm gonna watch this race. But if it's two man-looking girls or women or whatever you call them, brothers be like, I don't want to see this. That's why women's boxing never really took off like it was supposed to. Because I can't watch women boxing. I don't want to see two women beating the shit out of each other.
Right.
Now, I did appreciate watching LSU in the playoffs this year because of Angel Reese and his sister Flau J. They was hooping hard. They was balling. But I think that the WNBA has made a conscious effort to feminize the game more. We didn't see them like, you know how the NBA players come in with the weird suits and shit on when they on the way to the game. They used to never show that shit on the WNBA because they come in like overalls and khakis and shit. Now they having fashion moments with little skirts and dresses. I'm like, okay, they trying to make this because there are some straight women in the WNBA. And so, I think the stigma with us as men, and I can't speak for everybody. I might be just trying to include y'all in my bullshit. I always just felt like, well, I don't want to see I want to see Caitlin Clark and some other, you know, what she call a bad body butch built, what she call big bang. Do I want to see them hoop against each other? No. I want to see a sister like Angel with the long black with the weave, and she running down the court and laying it up like she off the playground. So, you know, that's just my thing. I keep seeing the WNBA is bubbling, so I'm paying more attention. I guess that answers my question. I'm
Yeah,
even
right.
paying more attention to the WNBA now. Like, I can watch the highlights, but I ain't to the point where I can watch the whole game yet because it's just
Right.
layup after layup after
Hey, and
layup.
that's progress, though. You know what I mean? I think whatever's going on is good for women's basketball because
Yeah,
it is
man.
making people look at it more, and that's one of the reasons why the women basketball players can't get paid as much as the male basketball players because it ain't as many viewers. It
That's
ain't as
right.
many people following the sport. So whatever's going on, you know what I mean? I feel like it's good for women's basketball because it's making people look.
It is. And notice we said women's basketball, though. You know, women's basketball, women's track and field. I do believe there's a such thing as a woman and a man.
Right.
I don't know. I'm non-binary. I'm what my man say, Wayne Brady say he trisexual, he pansexual. He just anybody. He just
What
fall
I
in love
know
with
I
anybody.
never would support is if they let trainee men play women basketball. I
That
would,
would be
you know what
both.
I'm saying? So whatever's going on, you know what I mean, I applaud it. You know what I'm saying? It's creating another lane for some of our sisters that can play ball, you know what I mean? So yeah, whatever's going on, I'm with it.
I'm laughing because
Keep knock her over every game. Knock the girl over every game if
that's
that's
just
gonna help.
basketball, right?
You know
Like,
what I'm saying?
sit your white
Toughen
ass
up.
down. Right. Sit your white ass down.
Hey, cause look, man, that's how they played. Look how they did Jordan back in the
Every
day with the
rookie.
Jordan rules and shit. Man, they used to beat the shit out of Jordan.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. I agree with you, man. I agree with
This
you.
girl
It's part
get
of the
knocked
game.
down, get hip checked too hard, and you know what I'm saying. She all over ESPN.
Sisters putting a little extra on it too, though. They
Yeah,
making
she
sure
did.
she feel
She
them.
did.
They
She did put a little extra hip in it, you know.
yeah. And then the one chick, I think she was black. She grabbed Angel Reese from behind and just threw her on the ground. Didn't nobody even give a shit. Like, oh well, get your ass up, man.
Right.
Caitlin Clark, shit. President Sleepy Joe was almost finna say something about that shit. Like, yo, leave Caitlin alone, right? And then they asked Mayor Johnson. He was like, "What? I don't know who is that. What? But you bullshit. I ain't know."
Let me call.
They got a women's basketball league. Mayor Johnson don't never know shit. Now, who is Caitlin Clark? Brother. You got to get some information, man. Shabaka said he had some great teachers in the late 1960s during the Black Empowerment era. I've had you know great teachers too, man. Early at Phillip. I mean, those are some the black women that I had at Phillip Elementary School. That's your foundation elementary school. Miss Allen, great teachers, man. And they freaking loved us. Like we was they babies. Like I can remember coming in with a splinter in my hand and Miss Allen picking the splinter out my hand. I had to sit at her desk with my hand like this for like an hour. And she did
Right.
just like my mama would have done and picked the splinter out of my hand. Go in the
Got
goddamn EPS classroom now. They call
Hey, you
ambulance.
went
Your ass
on back to class, got on with your day.
right. Put some alcohol, go wash it off. And she had band-aids and shit and antibiotic.
Yeah.
Like she had all kinds of shit in her desk. I came home, my mother was mad. Like, what the fuck this bitch thinks she doing? So she had to do it over. I'm like, Mama, the splinter gone. She's like, no, tell this bitch to keep her hands off you. I was like, all right. But he said they're always looking for the great white hopes. We know that. We know that. We know that. Yeah, yeah. That's part of it. That shit sells too, because it got my old ass looking at it. Like, where's she at? He said in other words, Kevin, men who like vagina, right? Well, heterosexuals, you know, I feel like there's a mission to discredit men who actually like women and just women. I feel like if you ain't fluid with your sexuality, they try to scrutinize you, right? And so dudes who like dudes can't understand why we like women, right? So for me, I don't understand how you like dudes. There's nobody's wrong if I don't understand it. But we said ignorance can't be your excuse. That's why I don't believe in gay bashing. That's why I don't believe let them live, let them be gay as they want to. But don't try to come at me and say I'm wrong because I'm saying I don't get that. Like It's like MASH, the TV program MASH. I can't ever even think of why somebody would have liked that show. Remember that shit used to come on back in the days when TV was finna go off? I used to be like, who the fuck was watching? That was one of the biggest shows ever. Like, this shit fucking sucked. But you can't get mad at me because I like Martin.
Right.
You don't understand Martin. I don't understand MASH, man. People have different opinions. You are right. Clarissa Seals is a great woman's boxer, but she even do too much now. She want to fight dudes, don't she? And she's trying to fight dudes. Like, yeah, let me get a,
Let her.
Man. Don't let her. Don't let her, brother.
Let her fight a dude. Let him go on the floors with beds. Let them do everything they
Now,
desire.
if a woman want to fight a man, go ahead, let her. Let her.
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't.
I wouldn't. Like I said, I if that's what a woman want to do, go ahead and do it. Cause like that, you got to promote that so that she really got to intend on fighting somebody. But I wouldn't let a man elect to go fight these women.
So if she chose to fight him, it's cool. But if he say no, I'm gonna compete with them, you say no, that ain't cool.
Right.
Okay.
Because it's a fight. It's a professional fight, right?
Right. But
Professional fighting is legal.
Yeah, but so then we should say, well, if she can come over here and pick somebody out and be like, I'll beat your ass. Why can't he do it? If everybody's legal?
Because we know most men, you know what I'm saying, it would destroy a woman fighter like that.
If you want to,
and that's why we got a problem with men going into those fighting things, like the girl that just got damn near killed, or did she get killed?
Yeah, got her.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so no, I wouldn't let no man decide that. Okay, well, I ain't good fighting men, so I'm gonna go over here and fight these women.
I can't.
You know what I'm saying?
Bunch of them broads.
But then you got a broad that's beating up every girl or something. You know what I mean? Can't no woman fuck with her, and she like, you know what? I want to try my luck over here with this cat.
She still ain't got no business with her ass.
She ain't got no business getting in that ring. But if this is a fight, she want to sign up to get paid for. You know what I mean?
Because as soon as she get hurt, they gonna say, "Why y'all let her do the shit?"
She wanted. Everybody knows she wanted to. She signed the papers.
Kamar, that's like saying, why you go over his house at 3 a.m? You knew what was gonna happen. You wanted it.
Exactly.
That's so bad. That's a horrible joke. I don't care. I got it off.
It's probably not exactly, but you know what I mean. You get the point.
Right. You get the point. It's fucked up, right? It's fucked up. No, I just listen. Certain sports, if a woman wants to race a man, cool. She want to play him in tennis, cool. She want to play him in basketball, cool. Nothing with contact. Because of the way men are built, especially trained athletes,
right,
versus women. Like, it's just biologically, they're just at a disadvantage. And I like I said, I know Clarissa Shields has been doing her thing. I just don't enjoy watching women's MMA or women's boxing. So I'm like, I don't want to see these two women that, like, I mean, they boom, 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 boom. Like, oh, it was one white woman. She was in an MMA fight. She got ran over by a tractor. Her face was fucked after the fight. I'm like, damn, that shit's horrible. He said,
hey, that's just like, I don't think it's like, okay, I wouldn't advise a woman to go. I wouldn't advise her to go fight a man. You know what I'm saying? Even if she wanted to, like, I would advise her not to do it. I ain't saying this is something I want to see. I would advise her not to do it because I don't think it's smart, especially a professional fighter. You know what I'm saying? A man that's been fighting his whole life, dedicating his whole life, training to this shit. You know what I mean? I was just talking the other night, me and Tyson went out to eat, and we was talking about Tyson, right? The Tyson fight. And I'm like, man, he gonna destroy that boy. You know what I'm saying? Reason is because Tyson head, this is what he know. He know fighting. Stuff is almost instinct to him. He's so good with it. Like, the boy won't even see the punches coming because he ain't trained long enough to be able, for his eyes to be able to see it and react quick enough. You know what I'm saying? But you got a professional fighter who is.
Kamar.
Yeah.
I'm willing to put up a wager. I think Tyson gonna get knocked out.
I don't.
Gentleman's wager.
I thought it was canceled.
A bottle of Vitality. A bottle of Vitality.
Bet.
Okay. If I win, if you win, I gotta come buy one. If I win, you gotta give me one.
Okay, cool.
I think the Tyson you talking about is old and gone. I think
Man, you ain't seen
almost.
them train.
Yeah, I know they just postponed the fight because he had a medical issue on the plane.
Yeah, but you ain't seen them train.
Hey, bags don't hit back.
Man, listen. You ain't gonna have a chance to hit. You ain't gonna have a chance to hit back. You remember how Tyson used to come out swinging?
That was 30 years ago.
He still got it.
He still got it. Did you see his last
Still
fight?
got it. I'm telling you. Look at some of them YouTube videos of Tyson training, man. It's a lot of young boys that ain't training like that.
His last fight, he got carried out on a stretcher.
Man, yeah. In his last fight, he also wasn't training good like he was supposed to.
I thought it was all he knew. I thought it was easy for him to turn it on and turn it off.
But look, in that instance, in that situation too, he was fighting another trained fighter who been fighting his whole life. You see what I'm saying? It's a big fucking difference.
He got his ass whooped. Okay, so Shabak is correcting me. He said the fight has not. It said it has been rescheduled. Tyson will smash that cave beast. Y'all so reminiscent. Y'all want this is not gonna be Robin Givens, Don King,
Kev,
Mike Tyson.
I thought you said you was rooting for the black man.
I'm honest too, though. I gotta be honest.
Never was something good.
I did say that, Kamar, but I can't. I want to.
Every time except this one. I'm rooting for the black man.
I can't ride for this one, Kamar. I really can't. I gotta be the coon in the room. What they say, the spook who sat by the door. I gotta be him on this, but I just because I'm looking at, to me, age, Father Time is undefeated. And Tyson ain't been Tyson since the 80s. That's 40 years ago almost.
Yeah, dog, that old boy ain't no fighter either.
He been fighting. He been more active than Mike has in the last 5 years. So, hey, let's see. This is what builds the hype. And speaking of boxers who you like, who done got their ass whooped, Deontay Wilder over the weekend, man. Oh man, I really dug, to this day. I dug his story. I dug his story.
That was a good one.
Who we used to like and shit, right?
Who got their ass whooped?
Speaking of them dudes, right? Deontay Wilder, man. And he got knocked out by an Asian dude, Fung Fu or somebody. First of all, this dude's almost 300 pounds, like 6'5". He hit Wilder so hard, he knocked the sonic rings out of him. And I really was rocking with Deontay Wilder for a minute. I thought, I said he can, if he just go back and refine his skills, because he wasn't a traditional boxer, because he was a late starter. I said he could beat Fury. And then he got knocked. And he lost his last 4 fights. Right? And I think come on, man. It's sad to see, it's sad to see. And he started boxing because his daughter has like spinal bifida or something. He was like, this is the only way I could take care of her. And he's made a lot of money, but man, he was on the canvas like, I think I'm gonna look for a new job. I'm gonna start sending my resume out. Like, and I would say take some time, brother, because first of all, you ain't even like you're not even in. You don't even look like the same dude. This is what I'm talking about with age, Kamar, and beatings. Going through these epic battles, and that shit takes something out of you every time. And so, yeah, man, he should retire at least for a couple years, right? He should. Well, we know Fury's a bum. Shabaka said he need to retire permanently. Said Jake Paul is a trick who believes in white supremacy. Maybe so. I won't deny that. I'm not saying I'm going to his victory party. I just think Mike Tyson's too old to beat him. I just think Mike has had some mental health issues too, right? And it's one of the things where when we blow up and start meeting these people, I hope that don't nobody share this clip and I'm in the room with Mike. Like, yeah, I heard your little podcast talking about I was gonna get whooped by a white boy.
Hey, it ain't too many people that could even hit Mike.
Buster Douglas, Evander Holyfield, the white boy who knocked him out.
The white boy knocked him. What white boy knocked him?
The last fight he had was against a big white boy. He put him on a stretcher. Foo fop.
I ain't see that.
Yes, I seen it. This was 2012 or something like that. Y'all get y'all Googles on and tell me exactly what it was. And who else? I tell you, what's my man name? Bro, British dude who nobody liked, but he was champ for a long. Lennox Lewis, he put hands all over Mike.
Yeah, but it ain't many. I'm saying, it ain't many.
That's over 5. I think that's enough. Laying other hands, Kamara.
Well, shit, man. You talking about a champ too. He was a champion. I mean, he had some. He fought some good fighters. Other motherfuckers who done trained like he did. Like I said, this is the point I was trying to make. Like the white boy ain't been doing this shit that long, man. And I doubt if Mike even ever really stopped training. He never got fat. He never lost his.
Yeah, Mike was smoking weed, eating sandwiches. He was chunky
Yeah,
in the
I don't mean he
motherfucker.
stopped training.
He was not training, Kamar. He wasn't. When he got into the podcast
you can't
thing,
tell
real
now
heavy,
by looking at him. How about
he
that?
been working out, but it caught up to him on the plane. They had to land that motherfucker, and we got to postpone the fight. Mike ain't right. My hip. Oh shit, it's locked up.
They
I don't
said
know.
it wasn't an issue that could affect the fight though.
The fight been postponed. It's been rescheduled.
Right.
So yeah, they had to push it back. So
well, it could affect it, but you know what I mean. I'm saying there wasn't nothing that would stop him from fighting. I mean,
well, he couldn't fight when he was supposed to. Just saying, he had to push the shit back. Like this ain't gonna heal for a couple weeks. Look, good luck. I love how we love black people. When we love somebody, we love hard.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't wait till you come to the House of Vitality and have to buy that Vitality. What kind you gonna want?
Probably something with a little fruit punch or something up in it, one of them flavor ones. You know what I mean? And look, when we do it, we're gonna take a picture of me handing you the money and you handing me the juice. I'm be like,
right.
I lost. And I don't see it. But now, on the other hand, I want the same spectacle when I come to get my free one.
No doubt.
Let me savor this. Let me savor this motherfucker.
Right, me handing it.
Yeah, man. Listen, this too is funny. There, I got right. There you go. I want you to hold the sign too. Kev was right.
Right.
Kev was right. I was talking about your boy, Andre 3000, man. Andre 3000, man. First of all, you know, Rico Wade died, who was pretty much the architect of the Dungeon family. Who know the Dungeon family is? That's the sound of Outkast. When Outkast was Outkast, when Goody Mob was Goody Mob, right? And so they came together for a reunion, and it was funny because I'm looking at Andre 3000 and I'm looking at Big Boy, and they saying, well, there probably won't ever be another Outkast album and whatnot. But then he comes and does a concert at the Jazz Festival. Did y'all see this? I put it in the People's News Network. Now, I'm just gonna be objective here and say he sucked. That shit was horrible. Look, they had the footage from in the crowd. People was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm talking about like this dude was playing one note in variation. I'm like, that motherfucker can't play no better than me. People's like, he stole his kid's recorder and shit. Remember we used to play the recorder? He was horrible. Now I'm off of him with the variation and that shit was bad, man.
He said he couldn't play it.
Okay, but the people still
he said he played. He just play off how you just play how you feel. Just play it. He said that.
Well, apparently that day he felt like just being one note.
I don't know how a flute concert would go over anyway.
At a jazz festival, you never heard a jazz flute?
Well, I mean, I get it, but and the thing is, the flute, it ain't jazz what he do. You know what I'm saying? It ain't jazz what he do. I don't even know why he would have even been there with okay to do it. Maybe the people but I guess shit, if they gonna pay me, I'll go play the flute too. Shit.
Like Keith. You like Keith? Fuck that. I mean playing Yankee Doodle the whole damn day.
Fuck it. Shit.
He's so deep. He an artist. But I'm just saying he was horrible. Now listen, it's funny because it's like 75,000 people there. And they all in the crowd like, what the fuck? This shit suck. Come on, 3K, man. Get back on the microphone, man. You just got a Grammy for the scientists and engineers, man. You get a Grammy from that too, man. Come on back, man. Put the flute down, take them overalls off the shit. Get your braids back in your head. Get your Atlanta Braves jersey and shit. Come on, man. Let's take this thing back, man. Stop it with this flute shit. You know, I'm sorry. I had to say, I had to get him because I seen him. I'm like, and I listened, Kamar. I took my time to listen. I said, let me hear, you know, and I swear it was.
Well, I mean, you know, if you listen to the album, like you would, that's what I said. Like I don't understand why they would have even wanted them to play play it, and it was for jazz
He can't
because it
say
ain't
no.
jazz what he do.
It's definitely not. It's not. It's nothing. It's just one note. There's no musical genre for this one
I
note.
blame that on the promoter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would I have a country western singer come to this hip hop show?
Hey man, pop that shit. LL had a country song. Nelly had one. Man, Devin had Reefer and Beer. That was a country rap song. Shit, have him come. You know, I listen. It was funny to me, Kamar. I just thought it was
Yeah,
hilarious.
well, yeah, it is funny.
The people's reaction to it was the funniest to me because people were in the crowd and somebody had their phone and everybody just kind of bewildered, like, is he warming up? Somebody said, hey, all this time I thought he was just warming up. That shit was funny. Come on, man. Stop it, man. Y'all killing the game. Let me see. Listen.
I think the promoter shitted on him doing that shit.
Did y'all see that these rich white people are planning to go back to the Titanic again? Do y'all remember last time they did this shit? It ended horribly.
Yeah.
Now they finna do it again. They finna do it again. What? White people are fascinated by the Titanic, which sank like 100 years ago. And they go like making, the technology is so much more improved. Whether he makes it or not, and if he makes it back, it doesn't change the fact that this is incredibly fucking dumb. Just like you just doing some shit because you can do it. Right? Like right now, why I want to say, come on, I just bought a rocket. I'm going to the moon. I'm not an astronaut, right? Kev, why you going to the moon? Because I can.
Because I got enough money.
Right, because I got the money to do it, man. I'm gonna get on this rocket and go. Now, if I get my ass up there and it ain't what they told me it had been told me, remember we said everything they told us is a lie. Right. Be like, damn. Because that's what happened to the first sub that got down there, like, hey, this shit ain't working like they said it was. Oh, damn. We just got cut off from our air. Hey, man, somebody pull their phone out. Hey, man, this is I probably got 30 minutes of air left. You fucked up. Just because you could. Whatever.
My thing is, why they ain't go back when they seem like, hey, man, shit ain't right. Let's at least try to get back.
Because I think that shit malfunctioned and they was just drifting at a certain point.
Oh, yeah, right. That's right. They just cut off and shit.
Right.
They just caught up in the current.
Some shit just got broke. Some shit. And oh, shit. Was that yeah, man. It's gone.
It's a wrap, y'all.
You bullshit.
What we said might happen, just happened.
Right. How much battery power you got left? Ain't that?
God damn.
Man. Yo, it's crazy. White people do weird stuff sometimes. And I know they think we weird, but I'm looking at them. Now this is more more along the lines of Puffy. And the only reason I'm talking about Puffy because we already know what was going on with, it's when it rains, it pours. People are coming out of the woodwork with some of the most ridiculous shit. And I'm like, and he's been allowed to do this for how long, right? But now comes the news that Rolling Stone got on some shit with their investigation. And they're trying to assist the feds in getting this brother a RICO charge. And so they're saying now that he and Big didn't even like each other.
They didn't.
And they was battling over money contractually. And Biggie wanted to lead a label.
Hey, for a second, I remember watching a bunch of videos about him talking about Junior Mafia didn't even fuck with Puffy. Biggie didn't fuck with Puffy. Okay. He just came when he was supposed to come. Okay. So now I'm just saying that to put some what I feel like is validity to what you're saying.
Yeah, well, yeah, Lance Unrivera, who was the dude who Biggie did, that's who he signed Junior Mafia to, and that's was his guy who he was gonna rock with, right? I mean, he ended up dying, but so with all of the new stuff that's coming out and the accusations towards Puffy's business with Biggie, Biggie's mama's now saying, when I see Sean Combs, I'm gonna slap the shit out of him. Like she like it's on site, right? But they are trying to lay out a connection that would implicate him in Biggie's death, Tupac's death, and his ex-wife Kim, or his girl Kim Porter. Right? They trying to put that tree together.
Yeah, remember I told you this raid, I don't think it was just what they talking about. I think that Tupac thing has some shit to do with it too. Cause there was a bunch of shit coming out about it. All these niggas snitching and shit, talking about a check, what they know about. Somewhere along the line, a check had to get cashed.
I've heard so many theories in regards to, the murders, the various murders. But when you hear Gene Deal the whole time, who's Puffy's former bodyguard, always talking about he blames him for Biggie's death. And he's like, he said like they jumped in their truck and they took off and ran the light. And for some reason, Biggie and them stopped at the light. Like, and so I wasn't there, and it's been so long ago, man. I'm just saying, like, what if all of this has validity? Like this dude, then that would like make this dude one of the most evil motherfuckers for the last 50 years, right?
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be damn near on Hitler status before this shit is over. Like I'm joking.
When they get done with it.
But yeah, but they are trying to tie. I heard that they're reaching out to all of his former employees, offering deals and offering all kinds of shit just to testify against the man. I don't know how much of this he actually done. I'm always an advocate of let the punishment fit the crime. But man, like this dancy ass dude with the shiny suits who we've been looking at all this time, like, oh man,
Who'd have thought? I thought Puffy was a soft ass nigga. Like
he's
back
a
when Tupac used to
homo thug.
go at him and shit.
He's a homo thug. Like he's
Right.
and he'll beat you down.
That's gangsta-licious for Boondocks.
Man. Who knew, right? Like you didn't even know. See, okay, so the word on a lot of this stuff that's been going on, it's always been around. That's how you get an episode like the Boondocks. And Aaron Magruder was brilliant with that. Like he did that with Tyler Perry. Like, and I've heard that Tyler Perry even has that shit like banned where you can't even like see it no more. and that shit, and he went hard, but he predicted things to come.
That shit was classic. Winston Jerome.
Oh my God. Oh man. You say, how could he be that accurate in where things was moving towards? Like it was, even with the Luther, and then what happened with the chicken sandwich? Like the way it just people was like, oh, remember at one point lines for chicken sandwiches at Popeyes used to be like halfway down the street.
That shit was crazy.
I was like, it's a chicken sandwich. What the fuck was in that chicken, man? What was in that chicken, man? And when I finally did get one, I was like,
Hey, I was gonna say you sure had one. I remember you came on the show and said, "Hey, y'all, I finally had one." Somebody at the job brought everybody a chicken sandwich.
Yeah. You're right. I was working for the housing authority, and it was my birthday.
You some crack.
It was my birthday, and the ladies in the office was getting ready to go, and they was like, "Well, we going to get lunch." I'm like, They was like, "You want to go?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm just gonna chill here." They was like, "Okay, well, we'll get you it's your birthday. We'll buy your lunch. We'll bring you a chicken sandwich." And so they brought me some fries and chicken sandwich, and I ate it, and I was like, I was underwhelmed. I remember thinking at the time, the Wendy's chicken sandwich is better than this. Like the spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's is better than this, but it didn't. So the crack didn't work, Kamar. It didn't work on me, right? I was just like, well, am I supposed to be high right now? Like it was just like, let me hit it again. Let me hit it again, right?
Give me another one.
Give me one more. Thank you for one more. But no, man, that's man. It's a couple things I'm excited to see how they play out. I'm excited to see how this MPS situation plays out. I'm excited to see how the Trump thing. I mean, I shouldn't say excited. I should say really interested in the outcome. And then I'm really looking forward to what's really going to happen to Puffy. Right? And how much will be revealed, and what's his connection to the Weinstein Epstein joints? And who else is a part of this plan? Which one of your favorite celebrities is a sausage smuggler? It's gonna be very interesting, man. This is a great time to be alive as a black person. You know, I know people think it's all bad, and I complain a lot too, but I'm having a damn
Hey,
good
I think
time.
a lot of people finna snitch. It ain't just Puffy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think his son got a bunch of shit to tell. You see, it's coming out a little more about that case, what he got on him.
It's all over the place. Kamari's his associates are being. That's what I'm saying. I was loving the fact that Joe Budden was riding on Puffy, no Diddy. He was riding him until Tahiri, his ex-girl, said, "Wait a minute, motherfucker."
Right.
I be on YouTube constantly. I haven't seen Joe Budden respond.
Right.
I know he said you was a gold. He did a thing where he said you a gold digger and you tried to do this and do that. But I ain't seen him really come out and say, "Hey, I didn't do none of that. I didn't do none of that, y'all." So, you know, Kamar, you're right. Everybody's snitching right now. They telling on the nigga who telling on the nigga telling on that nigga. I'm
Yep.
telling you telling, right? I'm telling them that
I
you're
thought
telling.
something funny too when Joe Budden tapped in on that. You know what I mean? Because he was kind of a lousy dude on Love and Hip Hop. When he
Right.
was on Love and Hip Hop, he was pretty lousy.
Yes.
Or whatever show that was he was on.
Yeah, he popped the podcast shit, made him pop off. A lot of dudes done got
Yep.
their second shot in his game because of the podcast shit. Like, you know, rap career over. I know what I'll do. But they do business deals with their podcast. They have major sponsors. They check $1 million deals, which is
Yeah.
something to aspire to. Earl Henning says, "What about your boy Orlando Brown? How your brothers doing chocolate? How your brothers doing chocolate? Me no. I got twisted on that one. This is my MPS education that I got by going to school real, and I still can't read. Right? I was there every day, and I still can't read. Yeah, man. What else I got on here? Oh, y'all know it's Pride Month, right?
No, I did.
So, yeah, it's Pride Month. So, like, change your background to the flag or something.
Nah, I probably ain't gonna do that.
I mean, in support of, you know, the LGBTQ plus
I mean, they
community.
could do what they want to do. I'll support them vocally.
Right. So
Hey,
big
what
up.
up, y'all? Support y'all. Do
There
what
you
you
go.
want to do. Live your life.
Shout out to y'all. Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, man. May you
Have
continue.
fun.
Yeah, man.
Be
Get it
happy. Be
in.
married. Be gay.
Yeah. Diana Ross said, "I'm coming out. I want the
Hey.
world to see." Kev, how you know that sample? Because of the Biggie Small song, man. It's not one of my theme songs when I walk in. I did want to say, let me see. I can leave some of this stuff off until the next show. But I did want to end the show by hoping. I hope I have hope for something. Kamar, what you got going on this week?
Let's see here. What's today? Monday? Tuesday? Monday,
Today is
right?
Monday.
Okay,
That's
so
Tuesday now.
Monday. Let's see. I'll be at the Friday market Saturday, and then we got the House of Vitality all week.
Okay. And your hours are
11 to 7, y'all. 11 to 7, Tuesday through Saturday. 11 to 7.
okay. Rail, where you at in your gardening journey? Because I think you ahead of me. Where you at, man?
So I got what I got 4 beds going right now. I got a bed totally dedicated to greens. So I got some collards in there, some turnips popping up out the ground right now. I got a bed totally dedicated to salad greens. So I got like some romaine and some red leaf lettuce and shit going. Then I got a bed for like the shit that need more sun, like the tomatoes, peppers, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, shit like that. And then I got my strawberry patch. I got some shit called All Star. They some June bearing strawberries. So they coming up now. They starting to take their shape. They still green, but they taking their shape. And then in that same strawberry bed, my grapevine is starting to produce some grapes. And then I just planted some shit called Mara de Bois strawberries. So those are ever bearing. So they should be producing strawberries all summer. And then I just got some shit in the mail, some pine berries. That's those white strawberries that you see in the stores. They're supposed to taste a little more like pineapple. So I'm about to soak those roots overnight so I can get those in the ground tomorrow.
I'm cheating. I'm gonna cheat because I'm late. I'm going by the plants.
Do your thing.
Yeah, I'm cheating, so I can't because I'm like now Kamara got the whole neighborhood turned into a garden, so I know he got an acre and shit, and now I'm the
Hey,
only
look,
one.
hey, Kev, don't feel bad. I did some of both. You know what I mean? I did a lot of them where I did did it, started in the greenhouse thing. But then, as I go, like even still, like if I'm at Menards somewhere, you know what I mean, I'm looking at the different plants and stuff. I still may grab a couple things and drop them down in the dirt. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah, nothing wrong with that, man.
I'm coming.
And you can get seeds and starter plants with Quest for anybody who get Quest or EBT.
Man, I'm on this eat better thing. And people get it twisted. It's not because I'm a big back, because I've always been a big back. I represent for big backs. I'm cool with that. I just want to be healthy, right? I just want to be. I don't want shit falling off, and then, doctors experiment on us, man. They will, especially if you get out there, Frederick. God bless you. If you got to go there, you got to do what you got to do. But man, they bringing in student doctors and all kinds of shit. I just can't do it. I can't do it. So I'm trying to do the vegetables. Carla, you got to turn your device down.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
Erica Hunt, what's good with you?
Nothing much. How y'all doing tonight?
Peace.
Chilling.
It was definitely some opinions at the school board meeting tonight.
Oh, you was there?
Yes, in attendance. This is Erica.
I know. I said, what's up, Erica? You mean you didn't hear me?
No. I'm turning my phone down. My back.
Okay. So what's the gist?
Yeah.
What's the gist with the school board meeting?
So, the school board decided to talk about Dr. Keith Posey's position in a closed session. So they're going to talk about his job later. I spoke, but I spoke they wanted to talk about the budget. So I had to make my point be relative to the budget, which is I'm all for holding the people accountable, right? And I'm all for not having people feel intimidated to do the right thing in the workplace. So I definitely gave them a rundown about how I feel that they have bullied teachers in positions collecting pay from the people to torture and terrorize our children.
Okay.
It was a packed house. I just want you to know that. So I did forget to thank the community about that, but it was definitely a packed house. We had an overflow into the hallway of people. But yes, there was a lot of people who also supported making sure that Keith Posey stays in his seat. So it was a complicated meeting for me.
Hold on. Who in their right mind was there to say he should keep his job? Who was that dumbass?
Ooh.
People he probably was putting on.
Right. It was like I'm saying, or it's the mayor said, let me call Keith and see what's going on. Hold on, y'all. Who else? Who's endorsing this dude?
I'm gonna let y'all do y'all research on that because I'm gonna give y'all a summary, but y'all know y'all like facts because y'all men and shit.
Well, just say the name. Just say the name. We'll do the rest of the research.
Well, it wasn't just a name.
As a group. So what group was behind Keith Posey? Who's behind it? Who's
the
supporting
teachers union, from what I could see. I don't know who the other group is. Wink, wink. I'm gonna let y'all find that out on your own.
Sound like you're trying to tell us you don't know.
Definitely, Tory Lowe is there standing up for the community and speaking and advocating. Once again, shout out to him. Shout out to the community because there was a lot of people there.
Oh man!
I'm learning how to use my language, Kevin. Remember?
I don't know. You said I'm not gonna say no names, but Tory Lowe was there. So are you not gonna say the names? Or you gonna say them? I'm sure all the normal people who show up at news events were there. I'm pretty sure that was the spot tonight. Like somewhere's some bar is jumping off right now. Like I'm sure it makes sense for the teachers union to support him because he pays union dues, right? Like which is asinine for them too. Like just because he pay union dues, but I get it. That's what a union does, right? Go union. Listen, if you can't possibly, You can't even. Normally, I give people like, and I'm not talking to you, Eric. I'm talking about people in general. Normally, I'm ready to sit and hear your like. This is why we should. Somebody tell me why. One reason why he should keep his job.
Well, there was people there that said why he should keep his job. So that's why I'm leaving it up to you to go so you can get
I'd
your
like to
own
hear their
testimony.
excuses. I'd like to hear what they said. I mean, what policy of his do they support?
So it wasn't necessarily first off, it was a heated discussion the whole time. Temperatures was up, and if the people really wanted to overturn the meeting, they could. But however, the police were present. I don't know if that's a normal thing, but I'm learning tonight that that's not a normal thing. They usually don't have the police present like that.
If it's more than 50 black people, police gonna be there. I'm just saying. You already know. Like that's just what we deal with. Like you go outside right now, and 49 other people walk up. Police will be there pretty soon. What's going on over here? What you guys doing? You talking about Keith? I just got off the phone with the mayor. He told me to give Keith his number. That's a joke from early in the show. No. But no, I just want to know what ground. I'm trying to be objective. I'm trying to say, okay, let me understand why he should keep his job. This is one of the worst debacles. And when all is said and done, we gonna see this.
That's what I wanted to, kind of give you a little glimpse of from what I understood, because everybody's perspective is different. But from what I understood for the people that spoke for Keith Posey is this was a long-term issue before he even got into his position.
So it ain't his fault at all because it was already going on. Like, yeah, he should.
Why you gonna eat the other one?
He shouldn't have righted the ship. He shouldn't have got the shit together. Hey, the dude before me did it. So yeah, okay. I that reasoning makes sense.
Yeah,
Yikes.
But it was definitely a heated conversation. I spoke from a parent's perspective. And it's not fair that y'all paying people to bully our kids in these schools. And when we got good teachers who want to keep their jobs, walking off of the jobs because they just can't take the corruption anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna go immediately following the show and I'm gonna check this out because I just want to hear somebody who can tell me why he should keep his job. At this point, when so much, it's not just one single solitary thing where you can say, hey, well, just address that. This is a whole. First of all, based on the fact that this man got on the news and looked at Black Milwaukee in their face and said, hey, give us this $252 million. These kids doing good. We doing all right, man. Hey, we ain't gonna have to do cuts. And as soon as
will they cancel that referendum out if they get them out of there?
No, that's voted in. That's coming. But that's what we found out later is that it's not even enough to last through the next year, according to them. But your record with handling funds and misappropriation is vast. So why would we keep giving you hundreds of millions of dollars at a time? Because it's been going on? No, I thought that ain't no time like the right time to stop the bullshit.
Well, that was said too. So we think that, it's been going on for so long that we're just supposed to normalize the shit. And people were like, no, we're not supposed to continue to normalize the shit. Good looking son. Thank you.
Earl Henning says, my bad on the last one. I was talking into the phone while working. He said he should keep his job so he can tell us what he did with the money. At this point, I say cut your losses. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. You fired. Go, man. Pack your shit up. Right. And then you bring some auditors in here and some forensic accountants, and you find out where this money is.
It's time to do what the Packers did to Aaron Rodgers. Fuck it. Let's let it get rid of him. We paid the shit out. Fuck it. We paid them, whatever. Fuck it. We don't give a fuck wherever the money at. We got to get rid of this problem. Start anew.
All y'all. Not just him.
Right.
All y'all. Mandatory say point blank.
Because you motherfuckers in cahoots.
Because if you've been complicit. And if the issue is that it's been happening for years and years, then that tells you your hiring practices are flawed because you keep hiring people who fuck up. I mean, we talking about like year 30 of this shit, right? When I first started teaching school in 2000, they were saying then that the academic achievements was a problem. The lack of teachers was a problem. Yeah, so this is not new. This is, well, I'm rounding, of course. It's to, like the mayor said, 23%. It's 23 years, right, since we first heard this problem. And it has started years before that. And so now we're gonna say, oh, well, let him keep his job because this shit been going on anyways. So that's the status quo. Why not kill the status quo and start anew? I believe what's about to happen is the city is about to end up taking over MPS. I really believe the burden is gonna fall on City Hall, and because somebody got to step in. Now, not that City Hall is the greatest, right? Like, because they are fuck off artists too, right? And the mayor don't know shit. Like, he just never knows. Like, and if they do this shit, and it be all on the news, and they ask him, "How's that going so far?" Shit, it's going good. Hey, I don't know. I gotta call some. We controlling the MPS now. He don't never know shit. I don't even want to ask dude his name and shit. He probably give you the wrong name. No, you Chevy. No, am I? My name was Steve. He don't never know shit. But shout out to you for going down there and being active and representing for the parents. That's always needed for them to hear and feel the parents of the children that they supposed to quote unquote serve. And it's not the teachers. Yeah. It's not the teachers because the teachers don't make these decisions. A lot of times teachers are given a curriculum and they have to teach it. Even if they don't agree with it, they have to say, well, shit, what I'm going to do? Because you get evaluated for your paper. You know what I'm saying? People who criticize what's going on in the school a lot of times have never worked in the school. So they just throw rocks at it and say, oh, man, the teachers ain't shit. They don't teach nothing. Fuck them. Like, yeah. Have you ever been in a classroom?
I think a lot of the time, I think it's just that people say the teacher's job, say the teacher job, say the word teacher, meaning the school system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's really nothing meant towards the teachers per se.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Because they are the faces that they see.
Right.
They don't see.
And that's one of the problems about that job. You know what I mean? Whatever's going on in the schools, that's who people looking at, the teachers.
Well,
I hope y'all understand. That's why I push so hard for the working class people here in Milwaukee, because there is no teacher without a student, and there's no student without a teacher. So I put them in the same category of needing protection because they are the bread and butter of the organization.
So, but you're pro union too, and your union right here is screwing the kitty by supporting him.
Wait, not all unions are the same.
Okay, so y'all don't rock with them.
We may not have a contract.
Okay, you got to check. Well, check and let me know.
Honestly, we don't. You get what I'm saying? I don't got that contract on my desk.
Okay. You said it ain't with me.
I got 3 other contracts. Shout out to Erica. She's going into negotiation tomorrow for another group of workers.
Okay. I didn't know that. Thank you for putting me in my place. I didn't know because I'm like, Erica, you all about the union. And y'all down there.
I'm pro organization that works. And one thing and 2 things is for certain. The people make the union. The people make the school. The people make the churches and the community. And I'm all about developing the people, regardless of what system they sitting in. You get what I'm saying? As long as we got the people who make morally correct decisions in these positions of power.
Right.
It was part of Keith Posey's job to make sure that he was aware of all of these things. Matter of fact, we took all of the teaching barriers off of you so you can make sure you focus on one thing.
Yeah, I don't know where he's going.
You ain't even got to worry about teaching the kids. You get what I'm saying? Not anymore.
I like to know what his day-to-day duties are. Like, I really would. Now I'm interested in it. Like, I want to, like, what do you normally do, bro? Like, I know you meet.
He's not cleaning snotty nose. He's not teaching children how to do math anymore. But for some reason, he can't oversee the people that are supposed to be doing the math.
Well, he worked his way up, though. That's not giving credit for. He did work his way up to a position. I don't know what he did. I'm just saying he didn't just pop up. He was in the vicinity of it when Driver resigned, and I don't know if he was around when Thornton before he hit it and got the fuck up out of here. Like, fuck Milwaukee, I'm going back to Baltimore.
I learned that he was a math teacher tonight.
Okay, I didn't know he had ever been a teacher. Okay, see, I don't.
And he's from Mississippi.
Oh, okay, that makes sense because Mississippi school system is so strong and powerful. That's who we need to be learning from. It's like the most uneducated.
That's what I learned tonight.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of shit.
Do your research on education in Mississippi. It's horrible. It might be worse than Milwaukee. Oh man. Shout out to you, Erica, for representing and going stand up for the people. Shout out to you. Thanks for calling in and letting us know.
Yeah.
Now, I want to listen. Y'all see this dumbass? This is viral. Y'all see this dumbass brother who's supposed to be in court for driving with no license. I feel like this is Milwaukee. Like you couldn't tell me he wasn't from Milwaukee.
I swear I thought dog was from Milwaukee, man. When I
That is some Milwaukee ass shit. When the judge is like, yo, you driving right now? You like, man, I'm pulling up at the doctor.
hold on, man. Hold on. I'm pulling over. Hold on, I'm pulling over. I'm pulling over right now. Hold on.
Motherfucker, why you couldn't just park the car and say I'm in an Uber? Or something like come on, man. You could just get out the car and say, no, I'm finna go on my doctor's appointment. This dude is driving.
Hold on, man. But he could have he didn't even have to have the camera on.
Right. That's true too. A
camera don't work, Your Honor.
Earl said he wanted him to stay so he could be there when they take him in handcuffs. It'll take years to get all this legal rambling done, man. He got to go now because he's gonna leave. If they find something on him, he going out in handcuffs either way it go. And we'll all be standing there like, damn, Keith. Especially the mayor, like, well, Keith, what happened? I called you, you didn't answer your phone. So, but yeah, man. So I was talking about before we closed out. I have a wish. I'd like to see somebody put steam to this. I would like to just send a message overall for Milwaukee for the summer because it's already ramping up. Can we just make the theme? We should come up with a theme for the summer and just put the guns down. Can we just put the guns down, right? We have to start building. Mm-hmm. We got to stop digging. We're in a hole. We got to stop digging, right? Mm-hmm. And it has to be us. And I know that there's people say, Kev, well, you don't know, and this is how it is in the hood, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I just wish that we could just put these guns down. Like a moratorium on violence, man. And you're always going to have some violence, but just to have a theme behind it. Just putting T-shirts on kids' back, putting posters up, putting billboards up, having little concerts. What happened to Jam for Peace, right? Why can't we promote, like you have jazz festivals, Strawberry Fest and all this. Why you can't have Peace Fest? Why can't we have a concert? Well, you did Woodstock. It was kind of like a protest, a lot of protesting acts. You've done all kinds of concerts over the years. You did We Are the World and Live Aid for poor people in Africa. Why we can't do a peace festival and have a week led by youth and just say peace in the city, put the guns down, change the culture where when you see your homeboy on that bullshit, you say, oh man, freeze that shit, dog. Man, freeze that shit. Why we can't make it popular in the community to be peaceful? And I get it. Young kids love to turn up. Nowadays, we have children with cell phones who run to the fight. They don't run from it, right? Nowadays, whenever it's going down, everybody's standing around watching. It's like a lack of leadership. But I feel like kids follow trends. So if you can invite, hell, put your money together, get one of these big name artists, one of these little auto-tune rappers, and have them come in and say, hey, man, put the guns down, y'all. We promoting peace. Care if that ain't gonna stop shit. Maybe it won't, but I'd still like to see it put in the air. Sometimes you got to put shit in the air and hope that people receive it. So, like, why we can't just start really just making it and see, this is why the mayor and the people downtown, this is why I have no real respect for them. Because why is this not their campaign from the start? We want to have a peaceful summer. Peace in the city this summer, y'all. Why can't law enforcement be involved? Hey, let's form a task force between the Milwaukee Police Department and the Sheriff's Department. Let's co-police. Not just you be in the park or at the stadium and then I got all the alleys. No. It makes, and supposedly everybody black, right? Right? And Mayor Johnson still don't know what the hell going on. Right? He's like, what? Crime? Is people dying here? I had to keep going at him. I'm just saying, I hope, and we do have this office of whatever they do. I don't know the name of it right now. But like sometimes it ain't about what you do, it's how you do it. So if they have this tremendous connection with the youth, why don't they participate in it? Like we got the community, we got the streets. I feel like people can take back the neighborhoods because if you go in there and you start to teach these people in mass that if y'all don't sit y'all ass down somewhere, this shit will be gentrified in 5 years. None of your asses will be here. This is what the stakes are. Because in terms of trying to prevent crime, we know that that's not necessarily their interest because they need us to populate the prisons, right? Because people in Black River Falls got to work. So they're not going to hand us any real solutions. They're going to just say, Hey, we can't stop this shit. Let's just gentrify it by doing what they're already doing, which is jacking up property taxes, jacking up the price of living in the city to the point where the poor people say, hey, I can no longer afford this. And then the rich millennials can come in and say, we love this shit. I don't know why our parents ever abandoned it. But it got to start with stopping the fucking violence in the community. In a lot of our neighborhoods, if I'm a black entrepreneur right now and I start a business in the community, I got to deal with people breaking in my shit consistently, vandalizing my shit, robbing somebody outside my shit. Instead of people saying, hey, this is a black-owned business, man. Moratorium around here. This is all on us, man. It ain't no white man doing all this. It's us. So my hope is that we can just, man, and Scarface said, I often wish that I could save everyone, but I'm a dreamer, right? I just want to see a culture being created for peace so that the kids coming up can years from now say, man, I remember that summer when it was the summer for peace, man. We was in this program in the park. We got to go to Brewer games. We got to go to Packer games and Bucks games for free just for reading a certain amount of books at the library. And I want to see that spirit come back because that's what we did. I was in the summer reading program at Atkinson Library like 5 years in a row, right? And it turned out to be very beneficial for me. And I know it can be for these kids. Now, people say, how you going to get them to go? Once again, we got to go right to the parents and say, you need to have your kids in this because if they are registered in this, then you won't get a ticket. That ticket you facing for him not going to school, this is like probation for him. I'm gonna let you off if he go do the summer literacy program. See how this shit work? Sense just makes sense sometimes. At the end of the day though, I realize it's Milwaukee, and like I said, it's just all wishful thinking. But man, we got to start
It ain't
somewhere.
wishful thinking, Kevin. It's not wishful thinking.
It is when you look at the fact that for hundreds of years we've yet to do it. So it's wishful, right? It's
and we gotta unify. Because you said, where are these people at? These organizers are out here wanting to do these things. They just not invited into the room where the people are donating.
Yeah, well, the problem is when they get in the room, they become fat cats and start acting just like them. Either way it go, the accountability falls on us. And I'm not, like it, love it, hate it or not. I'm not one of them black men who's gonna blame everything on the white man because I believe he has enough shit that I blame on him. Some of this shit is somebody else who's doing it. Just diversify your assets, right? Diversify your enemies and your opposition and classify them and attack accordingly. Because ultimately what you have to be is a person of action. You're the type of person who never participates in anything, never tries to spread any positivity or progress in the community. You then become an individual whose criticism of the community outweighs your contribution. And we know that that leaves you in the state of being as a coon. I see y'all Wednesday night, man. Peace and love.
Peace.